Hey everybody, it's Friday night, my favorite show of the week. Look, I can see little Dennis back there, like right behind you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I guess he's always
He's
there, but
just peeping in.
he's just peeping in. It's like looking in and checking to see if anybody's talking about his sexual problems.
Yeah. He's just thinking about how to solve his sexual problems.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Him and his sexual problems.
All right, American Military 100 asked if we did a show on Epstein, and Phantom said that the Epstein list is coming out soon. He said, yeah, we did a show on him. I don't know.
Yeah, a while back.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't that long ago.
I don't remember how it was titled. Was it Little St. James, or was it Epstein?
No, it was just...
Epstein. Yeah. We talked all about him.
Yeah, we did a whole show about that motherfucker.
That's just real. There's more of that out there. We just don't know about it. I think that was some kind of a... I talk about it on the show. There's a long history of that, starting off after World War II with fucking... what was it? Project Paperclip, where we were taking all these German scientists in after the war. But we also took in a bunch of German intel operatives and people that knew how to run intelligence groups. And one of the things that they did, that the Germans were doing, was using pedo rings to get people sucked in, and you could run them on remote control. What it looked like Epstein was doing is that, and think these guys were just joining a club of people that would get contracts and get placed into high positions of order. But in order to get trusted, you had to go to that island, and they had to get dirt on you and get tapes of you screwing these underage chicks. And then after that, you were part of the club. They could trust you. I think he was a contractor. I don't think he was CIA. I think the CIA paid him, though. I think he was working for him. That's why they were protecting him, because they locked him up here in Florida. And he had to serve a jail sentence, and he never really served any time in jail. I think he just came back at night and slept there. And that really wasn't part of his fucking sentence. He was supposed to be locked up. But he wasn't really locked up. He went home every day. And the local police and everything knew all about it, and they said, well, we couldn't do anything about it because he was under the protection of, and he was considered to be an intelligence operative.
Yeah, Phantom said it was episode 387. So yeah, it wasn't that long ago. Because the episode we just did was 444.
That list comes out. I think I have a hard time believing that list wasn't destroyed or altered, maybe. So you may not be able to trust who's on the list, although it might come out and it might make perfect sense. You go, oh, him. Oh, yeah, well, of course. Yeah, him. It's going to be a bunch of people that were being run on remote control. Now, Hollywood and political parties. You're gonna find Republicans and Democrats and rich people and people that are always fucking spouting off. It's not going to surprise me if they find fucking an old fat boy dude who pretends like he's a doctor. Bill Gates, he's probably going to be on there. Wouldn't not surprise me if fucking Zuckerberg's on there. It was, anybody who seemed to be trying to like lay low and hide from all this and try to stop all this, they're probably on there. And that's not the only place. I think there were more of those. It's just that they weren't discovered. That couldn't have been the only facility. That's just not how they work. It probably had at least 4 or 5 of them. They probably had them in other countries too.
CB said Tom and Jenny should do an episode about Vince McMahon and his crimes over the years. Yeah, it's like I've been like kind of just tangentially like hearing about him.
Yeah, who is that?
But he's like some sports ball adjacent dude? Person.
All right.
I'm not entirely clear. It's something to do with sports, right? I don't know jack shit about sports, and I don't care. So, but I kind of know the name. But I've heard that he did really shitty shit. But I don't know the particulars. I mean, I can imagine, because it's usually the same brand of shitty shit. But we should probably do a show about fucking Neil Gaiman, too, because that was a whole shit show. Him and Amanda Palmer.
The outrageous shit about that fucking island, though, man, when you think about it, is that they were recruiting poor girls, basically. Poor girls from trailer parks here in Florida and doing that. And these are like fucking super rich people. And then they'd fly them around and fucking treat them like shit and stuff, tell them they were slaves. Yeah.
Oh, Vince McMahon is the WWE. That's right. Yeah, I knew he was like a wrestler. Oh, yeah, I knew he was wrestling because Wang on his channel, he's into wrestling, so he had probably talked about him a little bit on his channel, so that's kind of how I knew who it was. Because I don't, like I said, I don't follow any
I don't know much
stuff.
about the guy, yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like... Phantom also says, y'all should get Leather Daddy Toby on the show as a guest, just saying.
Yeah, he said he'd be on, but he's never around. He doesn't really live over in this part of town. He lives on the other side.
That's the thing, like, we live, like, kind of far away from everybody.
Yeah. So it would be just luck to get him on.
Yeah. Plus, he's a nurse and he works a lot.
He's got long hours. Works at Orlando General.
Yeah. American Military said, by the way, this week's episode on Robert Lee Yates was terrific. Thank you very much. I will, like I said, I work hard on all the episodes, but I wanted to like put in an extra for that because I know that Papa 77 like gave us a really big donation for that.
Yeah.
And like I said, and it was a topic I found really interesting too. So I went kind of a little bit above and beyond.
Yeah.
Plus, I had a little bit more time. You know what I mean? Because I didn't have to like wait for the polls and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm glad everybody. I was afraid at first because I got so much information because I kept coming up with new facts and I was like, ooh, that's interesting. Ooh, that's interesting. And I'll put that in too. And it's just like, oh my God, this show's going to be fucking 5 hours long, which it almost was. But I think it ended up being like 4 hours and something, 4 hours plus. Mm-hmm. So, you know, but we got through it all. We got through it. We didn't get too drunk. So, you know, that's good. That's good. Let's see. Guitar Girl says, what we talk about tonight, yes, it's night in Scandinavia. It's night here, too.
Yeah.
It's 7:30 p.m.
It just got dark, really.
Yeah. 7:30 p.m. But it's probably much later over there, I would think. Because, well, I know that the UK is 5 hours later than we are. You know?
Yeah.
So I know it's like, what is it, midnight there or something? Or 12:30.
I just went and looked at Guitar Girl. You ever seen her?
Uh-uh.
Yeah, she got a picture up. I'm going to show. I don't have permission to show it on a show, but if she says I can show it, I'll show it. I'll show you. Look at her.
Aw, that's a cute photo.
Looks like she's in the train or something.
That's a cute photo.
Yeah. Can I show it?
Yeah, CB said, yeah, it's 12:35 a.m. That's what I thought. Because, like I said, I lived in the UK for a while, and I knew that it was 5 hours later than Florida. Zach says that the height of winter here, it gets dark at 5 p.m. exactly, and I hate it.
Yeah.
It doesn't usually get... I mean, it gets dark early, like right in the middle of winter, but never that early.
She says, Guitar Girl says she's in a boat. Yeah, but can I show it? Can I show it to the audience? That's not
I'm in a boat.
Yeah, she's in a boat. In the boat, she got 2 pair of glasses.
Well, you know, you need to.
Yeah.
You need to.
Phantom says show it. No, she's got to say I can show it.
Yeah, it's like other people can't give permission. That's not how that works. That's not how that works.
Phantom trying to break the fucking chain of command.
Chain of command.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So, man, what's everybody up to? We didn't do all that much today other than working and shit. And we went back to that store again, that local market that has all the meat.
Yeah, I got a porterhouse steak.
And got some more steak.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom got he ate that whole fucking thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe you ate that whole fucking thing. I had a littler.
It was worth it.
It was really good.
Yeah.
We found out, too, when we were leaving, that they have a food truck across the street. Like, I had seen the food truck last time we were there, but I didn't realize it was affiliated with the market.
Yeah.
So, like, they have, and they gave us a little, they're like, yeah, it's open, like, every day, and, like, they gave us a little menu and stuff, and some of that shit looks pretty good.
Guitar Girl says I can show it. Here's Guitar Girl. Somewhere, I think she said she was in Norway, right? I think it was Norway.
Yeah, somewhere in Scandinavia.
She says she's in a boat.
Tammy says, I give you permission to show Phantom, LOL. Yeah, I mean, if you can, like, give permission for other people. Guitar Girl said, hey, that's me. That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. Yeah, it's like, I can't remember, when did it get, I don't remember when it got dark here, but it's getting later and later. But I remember when the first time I went to the UK, I was there in the wintertime. I think I was there in January, the first time I went, and I couldn't fucking believe how early it got dark. It was like, I was coming home from somewhere from Cardiff or something, and I'm on the train and I'm like, it's 4 o'clock and it's like getting dark already because it was like the middle of winter. It was like so freaky because they're like a lot closer to the fucking Arctic Circle than we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like 4:30 it was starting to get. I'm like, it's like nighttime. That's crazy. Zach says I get permission to show my dumb face too.
You don't have a picture of your face up there, Zach.
I've seen pictures of your dumb face.
Yeah.
You don't have a dumb face.
No, he just got a picture of a damn bug up there.
Picture of a bug?
Of a bug, yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
That's him right there. It says roommate.
Yeah, that's not him.
That's not him, yeah.
I don't know who that is, but it's not him.
Got a picture of a cicada.
Oh, okay. Yikes.
Yeah.
Hey, how are you, Juan? Nice to see you. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while, but maybe...
Yeah, he hasn't been around a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, Tammy said we were dealing with the cold, and the closest town is dealing with flooding aftermath. Yeah, it's like not... It was actually pretty nice today. I think it's cool tonight. It's 47, and it was like 60 degrees today. So it was very pleasant. Like, It was kind of windy and cool, but it was like sunny.
Guitar Girl, she's asking what we're talking about.
We don't know. We never know.
Yeah, this is Friday. This is a Friday Sidetracks, so it's open lines. Anything you guys want to talk about, you can just drop a suggestion.
We have no fucking clue.
Ask any kind of question you want. You put it in the comment section, and we'll talk about it.
We'll probably talk about... I mean, we usually get around to, like, food or porn.
Yeah, or just some bullshit that's happening.
Or something like that. Or music. Sometimes I feel like last week or the week before we talked about music a lot.
Yeah.
That happens to you. Or, like, club life.
Yeah.
Shit like that. We didn't go out last Saturday. We went out last Friday. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Was last Friday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it was.
Yeah, because we didn't do the Saturday.
Right.
We were going to do Saturday too, but then we were way too fucking tired. Because, man, I don't know if we got that hammered on Friday. We were just having a good time.
Yeah.
But I think other people bought us drinks because our tab was suspiciously
real low. Yeah, I was like, I think somebody was buying drinks.
I mean, I know
one
one person did because we saw them do it, but it's just like, I'm not sure where, because when he told me what the tab was, I'm like, that's
ridiculously low. It was like $40.
I'm like, oh my god, we drank at least twice that.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's usually like 120.
Maybe more. Yeah, I mean, it's usually like 120, $130.
Yeah.
Like for both of us, you know what I mean? We drink a lot, but so yeah, when it was just like $40, I'm like,
yeah.
Either we got somebody else's or somebody bought us some shit and we didn't know about it. Like I said, we did know one person, but yeah, I mean, it's possible that people are doing that.
Yeah.
We have had people do that before. But Tammy said, what?
Oh, I was going to tell him.
What?
I got the fucking car AC settled.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because I think we said...
Yeah.
Did we say on Monday, like, that we had straightened it out?
I'm not sure.
I don't remember if we, like, said.
Yeah. You cannot survive here in Florida in a car without air conditioning. Air conditioner went out, but it was winter. So it didn't really matter. So I had to get that shit fixed before the summer hit. Summer was coming. I shot fucking dye into it to look for the leak. I couldn't find it, so I thought it had to be in the evaporator, which is inside. You couldn't see that. So I bought an evaporator, and then to be sure, I fucking bought a compressor. And I took it down to the shop, and I told them, I said, I think the evaporator's bad, man, but I'm not sure. I got an evaporator and a compressor. At least put the compressor on there. Came back and said, we checked that evaporator. It's not leaking. It's the compressor. And I was like, I didn't see any dye on it. It says, neither do we. But we hear it hissing. He says, it's weird. It's hissing. You can hear it, the gas releasing to it. He says, you touch the clutch and it stops. And he says, all right. And he goes, that's cheap. That was only $300 in labor.
Yeah,
I was expecting to pay like $700-800 in labor.
Or more. Yeah, I mean, we thought the whole thing was going to be like $1,200 at least.
So I had been buying parts and equipment for the job in the months prior. That way it wouldn't hit me all at once. So I get the compressor put on there. And on the way back to home, it fucking... it was intermittent. I could tell that it would get hot and get cold, and then get hot and get cold. And then sometimes it get cold. And then the next day I went... And that was like 10 miles back to the house. And I was like, may not be right. Woke up the next morning and drove it up to the store, and it was blowing nice and cold. Brought it back. It's all right. No, on the way back, no AC at all. I said, man, this shit's fucking broke.
They fucked it up.
So I drove back to the fucking shop the day after. And he was like, and I said, you did put oil in that compressor, right? Oh, yeah, I put oil in it, of course. And I said, because you didn't use the oil that I gave. And he goes, no, I got my own oil. It's for the refrigerant that we use. I said, oh, okay, all right. And he's going, I don't know what the problem is, you know. He reached down there and touched it and it turned on. The damn electrical plug, the plug into the compressor was loose. The connection was loose. That's all it was. Got fucking nice cold AC. It only cost me maybe like, even counting the evaporator that I didn't use, that evaporator was only $40. And I got it down the garage if I ever need one. And the compressor was about $180, which, you know, it's a Ford type compressor. They're real common. That's the good thing about having a Grand Marquis, is that it's just parts are everywhere. So probably like $550 total, around there, and that's like way under half of what I thought.
Yeah.
Because usually to have fucking your AC fixed in most cars here in Florida, $1,200, $1,300.
That's what we were thinking. Because, well, that's why he kept putting it off. Because he's like, I know it's going to be like at least $1,000, probably more.
Right.
And he's like, it's like, I don't really want to pay that right now.
Yeah.
But it's like, as time goes on and it starts getting hotter.
You got to get it, yeah.
You got to get it, you know what I mean?
Well, I was buying all the parts for the job.
Yeah.
All the lines looked good. The other stuff looked good, so I didn't think there'd be a problem. It was either the compressor or the evaporator, which the evaporator is inside. It's behind the fans. It's behind the dashboard. But, you know, they put vacuum to it, and it was holding, so there wasn't a leak in it.
And it's still working.
Still works.
And we've driven it around.
Yeah. Nice cold.
Cup for a week and a half or something
Just got
like
over.
that. So,
if you go on an American car, where you get a lot of car for your money, you want to get what we call a Panther platform.
I thought you were gonna say an old man car.
It is an old man car.
That too.
The Panther platform was fucking made from the 90s, actually late 80s, all the way up until just a couple of years ago. Now they changed the body parts over time to make them look more modern. They were modern. It's just that they were just a classic American big fucking four-door sedan. And they came in Ford, Lincoln, or Mercury. The Fords were called Crown Victoria. And that's where all our cop cars were Crown Victorias. And, they were modified into being police cars. All their taxis were Crown Victorias or Grand Marquis. Most of them were Grand Marquis, and that's what most American people bought. And that's a four-door executive luxury sedan. All right. And then the one above it was a Lincoln. It was called a Lincoln Town Car, and it was stretched by 18 inches, so the passengers in the back would have a lot of leg room. And that was the American limousine. And when you got a high-end Lincoln Town Car, they were fucking grand, man. They were very nice. But they were just mechanically so sound and reliable because everything was just big, robust parts. They weighed a lot. They were strong. They could take a lot of damage and abuse. And they made a shit ton of parts for them because they had so many of those cars for so long. So you got fucking surplus parts out there, man. And it depends though. It depends on, some things are hard to find, but shit like compressors and stuff they're real easy. Well, it's hard to find a shit like late model upper intakes because the intake runners, but you can buy aftermarket ones. An aftermarket clicked in. But all the Ford parts for the upper intakes are gone. But you just got to get into that car. And mine is a 1999 with just over 100,000 miles on it. And it looks brand new. Leather interior.
Yeah, it's pretty swank.
Looks brand new, yeah. Blood red, metallic blood red. It's called fucking Toreador red.
I love that. It just makes me want to...
Yeah, Toreador. Gray leather interior.
Thing in front of...
Yeah, it's fucking sexy, bro. I got all LED upgrades. All my lights are LEDs, internal and external. So everything's real bright. Just updating shit in there. Pulled the stereo out. I got a damn touch screen fucking stereo with fucking talks to Jen's fucking
Yeah, it's Bluetooth.
Got Bluetooth, so we can run fucking
So
navigation through it.
I just run Spotify and GPS through it.
Yeah.
Because I said you kind of need that nowadays. It's just
but they got kits.
And that wasn't expensive either.
No, not $80.
And it didn't take you that long to put it in.
Yeah, you just got to make a wiring harness.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
And I did it in. I made the wiring harness inside, and then it's like an adapter. You plug it, and you put it in there.
Tanya Marie says, "How are you? We're fine, thank you for asking."
Good, yeah.
What's the topic? Oh, Phantom answered that question, but it said,
Friday
nights. Yeah, we don't do a topic on Friday nights. We just kind of drink and talk about whatever. We just hang out with you guys.
We are bringing you into the weekend. The work day is over. The work week is over, and the weekend should be ahead of you. So kick back and have a drink and just chill out. And fucking, any guys want to talk about anything, any of the cases we did in the past, or opinions and shit like that, or we just kind of go with whatever the chat.
Or whatever
whatever comes
to mind. Like if we did something we want to talk about.
And these are actually some of our most popular nights. This night, when it comes to super chats, we get a lot of super chats usually on these nights.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's just kind of a fun hangout. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Guitar Girl asks, "Where are you from? Are you from Florida?" I am. I was actually born in Daytona Beach, Florida, which is probably about 50, 60 miles from here. Yeah. It's on the coast. But now I live in Central Florida.
And I came from a family that came from Mississippi.
Yeah.
Although I lived all over the world.
He was born in California.
But I was born in California, right?
Yeah, in Long Beach.
But then moved back to Mississippi off and on. I was going there every summer of my life growing up. After my parents divorced, I'd go there to see my dad. But, lived in Brazil, lived in Korea, Egypt. I lived in Brazil for a long time, like 6-7 years.
Lived in Boston. Lived in Detroit.
Detroit, yeah.
Lots of places.
Trenton, Michigan.
Yeah, Michigan. I forgot about that. Tom Jenny, speaking about serial killers, I saw in the news that there could be hundreds of serial killer truck drivers in the U.S. in a news report.
Probably.
I believe it. Well, shit, man. Like, look at all the... When you write about unsolved murders, like I do, you would be fucking shocked. Like, how many... I mean, murder is still pretty rare. I mean, even in the United States. But, considering how large the population is. But you would be fucking alarmed how many just dead women are found on the side of the road.
That they don't know who they are.
And they don't know who they are.
Sometimes they don't know who they are.
And all this other kind of stuff. I mean, just for one tiny example, look up the Texas killing fields. If you've never heard of that, there's a documentary about it on Netflix, which is actually really good. But just that, I mean, what'd they find? Like 30, 40 bodies, something like that. And they're not all the same killer. There's at least like 5 that they know of.
Yeah.
That are just dumping them there because it's a good spot to dump bodies, I guess. And more than one killer came to that conclusion. And that's just one area. So, we're not saying that all truck drivers are serial killers. I'm just saying that people that are serial killers are probably inclined to take that kind of position because you can travel all over the country by yourself. And, you move from place to place. You can just pick people up and kill them and dump them somewhere else. And they'll probably never catch you. You know what I mean? It's a very attractive... career path for people who are serial killers. You know what I mean?
Guitar Girl says she wants to go to America, do Route 66.
I've heard that's fun. I've actually never done that.
Yeah.
I haven't been out west too much. I think the farthest west I've ever been, I've been to Denver. I've been to Santa Fe, New Mexico. But that's far. I've never been to California or anything like that. I've been like up in the Northeast. I've been to like Baltimore. I've been to New York City. I've been to Philly, I've been to DC, places like that, but it's like I haven't been out west too much, or Midwest either. Let me see.
The Fox City had a Lincoln Town Car. What is that?
Is that an 84 Lincoln Town Car? A great car, like riding on clouds.
Yeah. Yeah, all the Crown Victorias, Lincoln Town Cars, Mercury Grand Marquis are usually since the late 80s, they were the same, basically the same platform. It was all on the same chassis. And it was also the same engine and drivetrain and usually the same fucking steering and wheels and chassis. It was basically a Mustang. It was the 4.6 liter Mustang basically, but 4 doors. and then turned into a luxury car. It was a Ford modular design that they call, they called it the Panther platform, but the Mustang was related to it, which is the same car, but just turned into a 2-door, and they turned it into like a sports coupe. You know, an American fucking muscle car, kind of. And they were just big, lazy V8s. They didn't make a lot of power in terms of horsepower, you know. I off the top of my head, I think it might have been something like 200 maybe, 240, 230. But they made a lot of torque. And they were real reliable. 2-valve engines, dual overhead cams engines, and dual exhaust on them. They were mellow but real strong. They had a lot of pulling power, and okay gas mileage for the time. You know, not really today. The gas mileage is a little steep by today's standards, but you make up for it in the fact that car can get 400,000 miles. A police car or a taxi wasn't rebuilt until 275,000 miles. That's when they fucking did an engine rebuild on it. So at the rate me and Jen drive, I will never run that car the amount of miles you need to destroy that engine.
I mean, we'll fucking die before that happens.
Yeah, be dead. We're lucky to put on maybe 100 miles a month, probably.
Well, no, it's probably more than that. Like, we drive to the club usually once a week, and that's about 25 miles each way.
That's what I was thinking. So, and then we do that 25 each way?
Yeah. So that's about
so it's about
200
miles. About 200 miles a month. Yeah, that's still nothing.
And then, like, other than that, we don't really go anyplace other than the grocery store or a restaurant. That's, like, right up the street, you know?
It's going to be about 2,500 miles a year.
Yeah, like, that's, like, nothing. I think the average is, like, 12,000.
Yeah.
Because, you know, people that commute and stuff, but we don't do that, so. Yeah, Papa77 said the Happy Face Killer was a trucker. Yeah, you know what? And it just occurred to me that I was thinking about the Happy Face Killer because remember when I was doing the show about Robert Lee Yates, and I saw that show, Monster in My Family, and the woman that started that show was the daughter of the Happy Face Killer. And then I thought to myself, I don't think we've done a show about the Happy Face Killer. Mm-hmm. Not that I remember, so I wrote it down. We did the Smiley Face Murders, which I don't think is one killer. I just think that's a bunch of accidents and a couple of murders, but I don't think it's a serial killer or a cult or anything like that. But I don't think we've done the Happy Face Killer. Zach is saying, did I tell y'all I'm kind of getting a Beatles obsession? I think my favorite album is Sgt. Pepper's, and my favorite member is John or Ringo. Honestly, I grew up listening to the Beatles probably from birth because my dad was like a mega fan. And as I got older, I started to get really into them too and started like buying my own copies of the albums. I'm not really sure what my favorite one is though, because it kind of went back and forth. I think when I first got into them when I was a kid, I was really into Sgt. Pepper's, and then for a while it was Abbey Road, and then for a while it was White Album, and then so those three are kind of like my go-tos that I listen to a lot. But I mean, yeah, I just grew up listening to them. It's like part of the first song that I learned to play on the piano was Obla Di Obla Da, actually. Yeah. Isn't that funny? Like, not piano, but keyboard, you know what I mean? Because I had a Casio. That was the first song I learned to play. Because I had a little Beatles songbook, you know what I mean? That my dad got me. Let me see, hold on. Mad Lake says, Isaac Cappy died on Route 66. I don't know if y'all know about that case. I do not, but I wrote it down. Tanya Marie said, heard of the Trail of Tears? Yes, that's very well known in history, I believe. And I wrote that down too because I said, oh, that might make a good show too. American Military said, do you think Joseph D'Angelo will ever speak publicly the way BTK, Bundy, Gacy, and Ramirez did?
No. His ego won't let him.
He doesn't strike me as the kind of person...
He's going to go silent.
...that would do that.
He ain't going to say anything. He's also he's about power. And to fucking tell you, for him to give up his information would be him giving up his power. Him remaining silent is probably the biggest power play. Like, fuck you, I ain't even talk about it.
Because I kind of feel like there's two types of serial killers.
Yeah.
You got the kinds that just want to run their mouths because they're just so excited to tell you about all
BTK.
this depraved shit that they did. They can't keep their mouths shut,
Right.
which is generally how they get caught. BTK. Mm-hmm. Dennis, we're talking about you. But yeah, then you have the other kind that are just like, fuck you, I'm not going to tell you anything. Because, like, like you said, it's like a power move.
Yeah.
And it's fucked up. Because they know that that's causing people pain, especially if they killed people and, they don't know where the bodies are. And it's like, and so they're asking, hey, can you just, like, give this family some closure? Like, where's the body of their loved one? And they won't tell them, which is extra shitty. But a lot of them, some of them are like that, too. And I think D'Angelo is one of those motherfuckers where he just gets off and he's like, nope, not going to tell you. Although I can't remember, it's been a while since we did the show about him. I don't think were there any that he killed that they didn't know about, or the bodies were still missing?
Who?
D'Angelo.
I think they got everything.
I'm pretty sure they got everything on him, but I don't know. Every time they catch a serial killer, especially one as prolific as he was, I always kind of feel like, man, there's got to be more that they don't know about. Ones that like fell through the cracks. Just like that asshole we were talking about on Wednesday, Robert Lee Yates. It's like, I really find it hard to believe that he just shot 2 random people in 1975 and then didn't kill another person until 1988 and then didn't kill anyone else until 1996. I find that very hard to believe.
Yeah.
So I think that there's like a lot more out there. I mean, he's in fucking prison now, like forever, but so I guess it doesn't really matter. But I mean, it would be nice if some people that, if there were unsolved murders that he could close the case, you know what I mean, by confessing that he did it, then that would be nice. But I don't think he's probably going to do that. I don't think he's going to do that. Let me see. Yeah, and he said he's also from Washington State, the Happy Face Killer. See, what the fuck is up with Washington State, man? Y'all have so many fucking serial killers. Oregon, too, I kind of feel like. But like I said, I don't know what it is.
SideQuest showed up. What's up, girl?
Hey, SideQuest, what's going on? Yeah, American Military said, all victims of D'Angelo are known. I thought I remember that. But it is suspected he's guilty of attempted murder of a male while he was called the Cordova cat burglar. Yeah, that's right, because he started out doing that.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
CB talking about how bad it is to have an American car in England. Yeah, that's not what you want. The road conditions here are totally different. He says they're bad because you can't turn them around.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I have is a fucking super long wheelbase, all right?
Yeah, it's like a fucking boat.
It's like a boat, yeah. And you feel like you're riding on a cloud. And it's not fast, really, but faster than you think it would be. It looks like an old man sedan, chrome on it. It was actually chrome plastic, but
It's plastic that looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a cop car or an old man car, but it's fucking it was called a luxury sedan. They're very robust, great fucking longevity on those. But that's not what you want for Europe, little tight roads. I saw a review of a British guy that had my car over there. And he bought it because he just said, man, I get in here. It's like a fucking room in here. And he goes, they don't have it. His was a British driver's side, so he's on the other side. I'd never seen that. But they made the Grand Marquis to be right-hand drive.
Yeah. For the European
and he was just talking about how he loved this car. But he said the same thing. He says, he said the British roads, especially in town or like in a city area, are not really built for the world that car came from.
Yeah, I mean the roads are quite narrow.
Yeah, here the lanes are very wide.
What are they, 12 feet?
Yeah, and a lot of times there's 2 lanes on either side of the road, so it's a 4-lane. Then we got 6 and 8 lanes.
And there's usually a big shoulder.
There aren't any real tight turns here, and there's no hairpin turns. They don't do that. they'll blow a mountain down before they'll fucking twist around it or make a tunnel through it or something, you know.
They're like, screw
They're
this.
like, fuck that. You know? They don't. The idea was the standards were when they started building the superhighway systems and the freeway systems in the United States. And they started in the late 40s. The idea was that they were supposed to be safe to drive at 120 miles an hour. That was the
pure into that.
Because they thought the car of the future, you know, like something out of the Jetson. We're gonna have atomic powered cars and shit like that. So
yeah,
the roads are very wide and they're very straight everywhere, even in neighborhoods.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and the way the roads are set up, it's very easy to drive those big fucking land barges. You can have a huge car. You know, when European and Japanese cars first started showing up at shores here, people laughed at them. They were like, "What the fuck is that?
It's a
little bitty." Yeah, like this little. That's not even a girl's car. That's a baby car.
It's a baby car.
Yeah.
I'll give that car to my baby. I'll let my baby drive that car.
Yeah, the first edition Corvette was considered to be a girl car. Only a girl would buy something that small. And it was a little 2-door sports car. I liked the original, but the thing is, it wasn't fast. It was weak. It was like be like buying worse than a Miata, because a Miata is actually pretty quick. It was just a little slow car that looked cute, like a Carmen Ghia. Now, let's see.
Yeah, Gallifrey's the baby you can drive by car.
Guitar Girl said that she's afraid of what Trump was doing and that Norway and the United States has always been friends. And I'm going to tell you, no, they have not always been friends. I said this before on other shows. I got good connections with the federal government, worked for them, got family members that worked for them. It is very dangerous to be an enemy of the United States, but it is lethal to be an ally of the United States. If you look at everybody we killed and destroyed, they were always allies. We don't love you. The federal government was a fucking monster. And it was trying to build a fucking empire. And after World War II, it tried to swallow up Europe. It made all those countries dependent on us. They don't have a military, and we were just going to be their hitman as long as they listened to us. All of the fucking systems in Europe, all its political parties were all fucking basically creations of the United States CIA to keep them all confused. They wanted to all have parliaments. That way they'd never have any clear leadership. They'd always be in chaos. No centralized real government or anything. No, the Europe has always been vassal states. Either the United States was going to own them or the Soviet Union was. But we got them, most of them. But those days are over, man. The technology doesn't allow it. So the United States is going to cut them loose, which they should be cut loose. They got to make their own way in the world. They can't be children forever. They're either going to have to become friends with Russia or they're going to have to become part of Russia. But they don't have the resources to ever fight or defeat Russia or the United States. There's not enough resources. Their environmental laws won't allow them to industrialize to a point to where they could fight a big country. So, but the days of American empire is over. Thank God. Thank God. All right? Because America and the rich people that own America and control it, because it's an oligarchy. It's been an oligarchy for about 100 years. They believed that they owned the world. They wanted to make a one world government that was not really elected. America was going to be the hitman to bring it into power, and they were going to run it. That's what they were doing. But that's why it's stopping. It was a mad dream, kind of like Hitler's mad dream. Same shit. So it's just going back to the way it was. So it's going back to the way it was before World War II. Thank God.
Leslie Ann Stoffel said, have you done a show on Israel Keys? Yes, we have. It was a while back, but we did one about him too. I kind of feel like he's like a really horrible serial killer that like a lot of people haven't heard of either. But yeah, we did a show about him. I don't remember how long ago it was, but it was a while. American military is a potential true crime topic. David Meinhofer, first serial killer caught with the help of criminal profiling. That name sounds so familiar. I don't think we've done a show about that, but I'm going to write it down anyways. Man, we're getting all kind of like good topic suggestions. I'm always like, I have a huge list, but a lot of the topics on the list, I've put them in the polls before, and they never win. So it's like sometimes I don't put them in as much anymore. Now, one thing, okay, is people that are on our Patreon. I've been having trouble with the polls. Like, it seems kind of glitchy. One of our patrons sent me a message and said, I can't vote in this poll. And I had been noticing that, like, the last, like, everybody votes on the YouTube polls, because I put the poll on YouTube also. But nobody hardly ever votes on the Patreon ones. And I was like, is there something wrong with the poll thing? And, like, I looked it up, and there was some messages about it, but they were, like, really old. And then I was like, I don't know. So I tried to put up, because I put one up this morning, and he was like, I can't vote on it, like, it won't let me. And so I got rid of that one, and I put another one up. Yeah. So if anybody tries to vote in those polls, like, let me know, because I don't know if there's something wrong with the platform, and there's some kind of glitch that's, like, not letting. But if you want to vote on the polls, like, if you go to YouTube, and I think they used to call it the community tab, but I think now it's called posts. I post the poll there, like, on Friday mornings, like, in Eastern Standard Time. So you can vote on the poll there if you can't get on the Patreon one, if you really want to vote.
Tabby chiming in, saying that I must have never driven the back roads because they're all narrow and windy. Not in the South. The South.
Well, yeah, not down here. They're not.
Yeah, the South is flat. And anywhere
it's all pretty wide.
Yes, yeah.
And not too twisty.
You go from Florida all the way through the South, all the way into fucking New Mexico and Nevada. That's basically flat. And there's no reason to have a narrow, winding road unless it's like you said, you're in a little bitty neighborhood. You might see that. But that was a neighborhood that was probably built in the 1920s, and then the houses were refreshed a little bit. I've seen that in Mississippi. But you're only going 25 miles an hour, you know.
Right. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, near where I used to live in Daytona, there was a tiny, tiny, tiny little narrow street that was just like one way. That was always kind of a pain in the ass. It was a pain in the ass because I think a lot of people didn't realize it was one way. So you'd go halfway down, and then some jackass would be like, come in this way. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Yeah. You know what I mean? So, there's signs. I know you guys don't read, but, you know, whatever. Yeah. Phantom says, Tom, who has a higher body count, a serial killer or a Vietnam helicopter door gunner?
Oh, man, there's so much fucking legendary bullshit from Vietnam. Some of my squad leaders when I was in service were Vietnam vets, and they said it's nothing like you actually see. A lot of it depended on what part of the war you were in. If you were in the later part of the war, those dudes weren't doing much. They're walking around getting shot at through the woods. You never saw who did it, and then you call in an airstrike, and then the fucking artillery'd hit it, and then you go up there, and you might find a piece of a fucking helmet, and you wouldn't find anybody, you know. And then they'd all be fighting over lying about how many people they killed. Because if those bombers drop bombs there, they're going to say, how many did we kill? And they want the numbers because everything is being run by the numbers. So they would just make shit up. We think, based on what we're seeing here, there must have been 3 casualties, but the bodies aren't here. Okay, so we got 3. No. We killed those 3. That was rifle fire. Well, who did we kill? Okay, look, we all got 3. So next thing you know, the pilots got credit for 3. The dudes on the ground, the infantry got credit for 3. And then the artillery got credit for 3. So 9 people. Nobody killed, but they're claiming that 9 were killed. That's the way Vietnam was run.
They all killed the same 3 guys.
Yeah. They all killed the same 3 people. And we all got credit, but the Army says it is 9. All right. They have retired NVA.
It's like cheating at Monopoly.
Yeah. They had retired NVA generals that had accurate loss counts. They said they're nowhere near the American claim of how many people that they killed.
Because they were just showing off.
Because we were lying. And it was just the guys on the ground. They were encouraged to come up with big numbers so they could show guys back at Washington that the money's being well spent. So everybody knew they were lying in the system. They knew they were lying up there. They just wanted the money to flow. It was a scam. War is a scam. I was in that system. Yeah. And every war the United States has been in was a war of empire, basically, and we caused all of them, including the first Iraq war with Saddam. Saddam asked if he could go into Kuwait. He says, they're slant drilling my oil from Kuwait into here, and they won't pay me. He says, would you care if I go in there and take Kuwait? It's a little country. He says, I'll run it good. I just want the money that they stole. And our fucking ambassador said, yeah, we wouldn't care about that. Yeah, they set him up. So then he invaded Kuwait, which gave us an excuse to go in there and fuck him up because it would make money. And Saddam was a loyal ally of the United States for decades.
Well, yeah, there's been whole books written about.
So I was saying, yeah, you want to die, become an ally of the United States. We'll kill you before an enemy.
We're kind of the worst.
Gaddafi was a fucking great ally of the United States. Did everything we asked him to do. He even denuclearized. As soon as you start talking about making a centralized African bank to get North Africa its own banking system, he ended up getting stabbed to death in the booty with a knife from a revolutionary that came out of a revolution that we fucking caused in his country. That's how we fought most of our wars, is fomenting rebellions in other countries. That's what that mechanism they just took apart. That USAID was a CIA front. Their budget was big as the military. And that's what they do, is they just bribing people and paying for professional fucking protesters and revolutionaries and shit to overthrow people's governments. And it's usually friendly governments. Yeah.
I probably need another drink.
Yeah. Let me make you one.
Just waiting for you to...
Yeah. Waiting for me what?
To notice that I needed another
drink.
drink.
Yeah, I didn't notice. Hold on.
That's all.
Hold on.
I could go make it.
I gotta embiggen that. It's fucking up. My fucking tablet. I need some too.
Oh, okay. Didn't know what you was doing. Yeah. Phantom says you guys should do a story about me sometime. I mean, yeah. Like I said, I don't think I'm ever gonna run out of fucking shit, man. Even if we just did shows about, and this is kind of depressing to think about, but it's like, even if we just did shows about serial killers or weird murders, we would never run out of stuff to talk about. I told you, it's like, because remember how, I mean, most of you guys probably know, I did that Faceless Villain series, like all the unsolved murders from the 20th century. And I'm doing 21st century, so I'm working on 2000 right now. Because I decided to do, I said, you know what, I'm just going to do each year as its own book. Because I was finding so many, I'm just like, this is so long. It's like, if this was a 20-year book, it's going to be like fucking a dictionary. And I was like, I can't deal with that. So I said, I'm just going to do like 1 year at a time. So I'm working on 2000, and it's just kind of like, I keep finding new shit. You know what I mean? Like, I'm researching this one, and I'm like, okay, here's this murder that happened in Columbus, Ohio, or wherever the fuck. And it's like, while I'm reading that one, here's this other one comes up, like on this, oh, there was this other one that was, they thought was like kind of related. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it just never ends. It never ends. And like, and I'm not sticking with, I mostly stick with murders in like English speaking countries, obviously, because that's easier for me to research. There are a few in there that are in others. I think there's a couple in France, there's a couple in Japan, stuff like that. If they were like a big enough international deal that there's like a lot of English language information about them, then those are in there. But they're mostly US, UK, Australia, places like that, like where it was easier to find information that I didn't need to translate. But I just thought to myself, I was like, Jesus, if I opened it up to other countries and then just like Google translated all the shit, it's like I would never finish writing it. You know what I mean? So it's like, I probably should have stuck to just US, but I don't know. There was some other stuff in there from like UK and Australia that I wanted to include. So, and you know, and some from some other countries, like I said, that were kind of a big deal. But oh my goodness. Yeah, Tammy said it's, yeah, what the U.S. government does and how the U.S. people feel are usually two totally different things. Oh, big time. Big time. Yeah, I mean, how long did your, Zach is asking, how long did your Faceless Villain books take to research, by the way? You know, I don't really remember at this point, because I think the first one, when did the first one come out? I think the first one came out in 2017. I mean, they take about a year-ish to do. And this one, I started working on, because my plan initially was to do like a volume 4 that was from 2020, or from 2000 to 2020. So I was going to do that. And so I started writing a couple of chapters. So I had the year 2000 mapped out, like outlined, and then I had 2001 mapped out and like a little bit of 2002. And I had started writing some of the cases. But then, like, when I started getting into doing the 2000 case, I'm like, oh, this is so long. I'm like, there's so many. And I was just kind of like, maybe I should just do each year as one book, because then, like, it won't take so long to write the fucking thing, because I was getting really overwhelmed by thinking of doing, like, a 20-year. I was like, this book's going to be fucking huge, you know what I mean? So I started writing this one probably... Like, I started a while back, and then I sort of abandoned it because I got busy doing other things. But just recently, I was like, I've already got a lot of at least 2,000 written, so why don't I go in there and, like, research other cases and, like, fill it out and everything like that. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm getting in there. I'm doing, like, month by month, like, each cases. So I just finished up May. And then I have some cases to write about for June, so I'm doing... Like, so a lot of the cases are already written, but I went back and found a bunch of other ones that I kind of inserted. You know what I mean? Have we done a show on Joanna Dennehy? No, I don't think so. That does not sound familiar at all. So I'm going to write that down, too. Man, I'm going to have to, like, go change all the polls, man.
They're talking about U.S. and being allies with Norway and all that shit. And I just got to correct you guys again. No, we're not allies.
Oh, he's correcting you.
And you don't want to be an ally of the United States. And the people that run the government for the past fucking 70 years, and that system, and the people that own the United States, don't see Europe as allies. They see them as vassals. Possessed. If aliens were to see what was going on, they would look at the American system and the international, they call it the international order, or they'll have all these different euphemisms for it. If aliens were to look at this, they would see an American empire with satellites. In the same way we saw Soviet Union with its satellites. That's what it is. And the idea didn't have anything to do with defending Europe. It was more about trying to topple the Soviet Empire, because we saw them as rivals. So Europe was just kind of a pawn in all that. But the technology's changed. Baby boomers are all gone. They're dying away. They're dying off. The United States doesn't get anything out of arrangements with Europe. We don't get anything about NATO. We don't gain anything from it. When the British had their empire, at least they made money on it. America can't really make money off the empire. It's kind of losing money on it. Especially since we deindustrialized and everything, China makes everything now. So you can't be a fucking global superpower if you don't produce anything. So America is kind of unworthy to have an empire. And it's kind of unworthy to fucking feel that the Europe are a bunch of fucking possessions, or satellites. Because we can't back any of that up. It's too far away. And the Russians will fucking sink every ship we send over there with hypersonic missiles. So we can't move an army into Europe to defend it. It's all technologically a thing of the past. It's fantasy. So what's happening now is reality. The United States has to fucking reindustrialize, become independent, and learn how to get along with Russia and China, and maybe India. Only the big countries really matter. The smaller ones can't really threaten us, and they don't really buy any of our products because we don't make many products anymore. And the ones that we do make, they don't buy them. And Europe doesn't make anything that we actually need. It doesn't have any natural resources. So it doesn't make sense. It makes more sense that Western Europe is an ally to the Russia and in the Russian sphere. They're close enough to protect it. The United States isn't. It's just basic geopolitics, basic reality. That's all it is.
Zach says, speaking of Norway, I learned about a real interesting crime case from the 60s there called the Leland affair, I guess I'm pronouncing that right, led to a huge miscarriage of justice. Might be a cool episode. I've kind of heard of that, but I'm not really sure what it is. But yeah, I wrote it down anyway. So I'm always kind of looking for shit, like I said. American military, Mr. Cruel was an unidentified American serial rapist. Yeah, we did a show about him a very, very long time ago. Yeah, he said he's compared to D'Angelo because of the way he attacked families. I think when we did the show about D'Angelo, or maybe when we did the show about Mr. Cruel, I'm not sure. Because, like, the Mr. Cruel show was, like, ages and ages ago. I think that some people have speculated that D'Angelo might have done that, too. Like, maybe he might have gone to Australia, like, for a short time. Because the MO is very, very similar. I don't know if I believe that or not, but, I mean, it could be. Yeah. But, yeah, they still haven't caught Mr. Cruel.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't have, he doesn't have as high a body count, obviously. What did he, I think he only killed, 3, 4, something like that. I can't really remember, but yeah, it was really, really similar. Like, he kind of, would stake out people's houses and then, like, break in when they weren't there and kind of hide until they came home and, kind of keep everybody under control and shit like that. But it was, like, a similar kind of thing. But yeah, we did a show about that like a long time ago.
So Guitar Girl goes, so it's like Norway is crap. No, you have to understand that the U.S. federal government is not a person. It has no personality. It's a machine, and it's kind of insane. All right, for 70 years, it's been running on autopilot basically, and the world has changed a lot. You can only really be in an alliance with somebody that you can protect. America can no longer protect anything in Europe. It's not strong enough. Technology's changed. Jets don't matter. Tanks don't matter. Everything's hypersonic missiles and terrorists and shit. And mercenaries. That's and little drones. These little quadcopters. It's not that they're saying that Norway is shit. It's just saying that there'll still be a good relationship. It's just that there's no way America can protect Europe from some kind of an outside invasion from, say, Russia. It would never happen. You might be able to use nuclear intimidation, but Europe has nuclear weapons. They don't need the United States for that. And America doesn't really have the money to fund the defense of Europe needs to start forming its own armies and paying for them. For themselves. And if they can't make it because they don't have natural resources, we can sell it to them. You'll see shit like that. It won't change that much. The only difference is it'll save the United States a lot of money. And they only care about money. They only care about money. That's all it is. It's not about being nice. It's not about anything like that. Don't attribute any kind of morality to it or any kind of personality to it. It's a machine.
CB said in Scotland we used to go to war naked. Imagine the Americans having to face that. I know all them naked Scots like coming over the thing, dick swinging.
Yeah.
Did they like paint themselves blue like in fucking?
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I
was thinking about getting my tartan.
Yeah, you were talking about that.
I looked it up. Yeah, it's a good one.
You were talking about that.
Looks good. Yeah, Clan Ross.
I know what mine looked like because my dad did like from my maiden name, which is Mitchell.
Yeah.
But I don't remember what it looked like though.
Mine's red and green with a little bit of like gold and I think gray. And there's like a couple different patterns there because there was like different time periods, I guess, in different areas. But you can get kind of a cheap one. It's kind of generic for pretty cheap. But if you want a really good, there's companies in there that'll make one tailored to you specifically and all the fucking extra shit. And it's about $1,500.
Well, ask Will. He's got all of those.
He's got all that shit. Yeah.
He's got all that shit.
Yeah, but they make the little bag and shit, you know what I mean, and the belt and the little hats, and I think there might be a jacket.
Now you have to wear nothing underneath it if you wear it.
I wouldn't wear nothing underneath.
Okay,
I take all kinds.
Like okay.
I take all kinds of Cialis. I'd be in a permanent chubby. In case the wind blows, they get a good shot, man. It's photogenic.
Yeah, you got to think about that.
Yeah, you want to be
because he's outside and his skirt blows up like a Marilyn Monroe moment.
You better be.
And then he's just like,
You better be having a good dick day.
I told him yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
I said you need a shirt that says that.
Yeah, today's a good dick day.
Today's a good dick day.
So I'll pull it down on Genesis. Look at this shit.
Yeah, that was yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I was like in here working in the office, and he comes in. He's like, I gotta show you this. I gotta show you this.
She's like, oh.
I was like, oh, all right. See, this is kind of one of the nice things about working at home is that you can just kind of have something like 2:00 in the afternoon. Hey, I just thought I'd come in and show you my dick for a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Oracle said, my family's tartan is pretty cool, unlike, say, Buchanan, ducks and runs away.
Yeah.
I don't know what that one looks like. Like I said, I don't remember what mine looks like. I remember it being, like, nothing special. They all, not to be weird, but, like, not, they mostly all kind of look the same to me.
No, and she said, so the United States are not an ally anymore? No, I don't think we ever actually were. You'd have to look at the fine. But there's like security agreements and things like that. There's always going to be, the European-style countries are always going to get along pretty good. This is not like it was in the 20s and the 30s where Europe was at each other's throats all the time, like from World War I. It's not like that anymore. You don't really need solid alliances because most of the countries are not really in conflict with each other. If you look at the conflicts that America's been in over the past 70 years, it was all shit we did that caused it. America was, and here's the thing, I'm not anti-American. I'm patriotic. I'm very much against any kind of American imperial fucking activity. I was involved in it as a U.S. soldier and shit. And at the time, I didn't question it. But the more I figured out what we were doing, the more I knew about the background and how the system worked, it was bad, man. We were kind of like England and what was that fucking East India Trade Company? We're like the East India Trade Company, which was a British mercenary force that did all kinds. That's who we are. A bigger version of that. We'll stir up trouble to make money. Our President Eisenhower, who was an ex-World War II general, warned us on the way out, you can see it on YouTube, about the rise of misplaced powers for the rise of a military-industrial complex. And everything he predicted happened because he was watching it happen. In the Soviet sphere, in Marxism, the state becomes the means of production. So the state becomes kind of like a corporation, kind of. In the United States, it was opposite. The means of production became the state. So the military-industrial complex became the state. They run it. But the thing is it's just not military and industries. It's also Hollywood. It's also the Congress. Because there's all kinds of fucking people involved that make money grifting off of war, death, artificial fucking shortages. They'll make shortages to make misery. They try to reduce the population. They're just, all that Georgia Guidestone shit, it's just bad. And it just needs to be changed. This is a revolution. And it's irreversible. Because it's partially driven by technology. Internet changed everything. Hypersonic missiles changed everything. And they've been lying to you about what's been happening in the past 4, 5, 8 years. Fucking Russia did great over in Ukraine. Fucking their air defense was fucking fantastic. That's why we never sent F-16s over there. We'd get them shot down. And if you got them shot down in Ukraine, you wouldn't be able to sell them. And the main thing we do is sell F-16s to people. So we didn't want videos of F-16s getting shot down. But the Russians had good missile defense, man. They'd have shot them down all day long. And then the sales would dry up. It's money.
Let's see. CB said, Jenny, if you haven't done episodes about Peter Tobin or Bible John, they'd be fantastic Wednesday shows. We did do a show about Bible John, but I don't think we've done Peter Tobin, and we probably should because, man, they are trying to, probably rightfully so. They're trying to pin pretty much every fucking unsolved murder over there on this motherfucker because he was a very prolific serial killer.
Peter Tobin, it sounds familiar.
Yeah. We did do a show about Bible John, who, as far as they know, he hasn't been caught yet. It was a while back, but he killed 3 women, and he picked them all up from this one dance club. What was it called? The Barrowlands or something like that. And it's it's kind of funny, is that the original painting that they did of him, like from the description, looked almost exactly like my ex-husband.
Yeah.
But my ex-husband was too. I mean, he was just like a baby when that happened, so it wasn't him. I'm just saying that it looks a lot like him. We got a super chat from Papa77. Oh my goodness, you were so generous, Papa77. Thank you so much. You guys need some love today. Yeah, tell me about it. So here you go. Come on, guys, show some love. Like, share, subscribe. Yeah, all of that. Yeah, CB said Peter Tobin died in 2022. Yeah, I thought that had happened recently. But wasn't there, what was it called? Operation something or other. Because I remember reading about a bunch of unsolved murders over there and how they were trying to link him to a lot of unsolved murders because he did get around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, Tammy said, Jenny, are you going to see The Monkey, the movie based on King's story? I do want to see it. It looks weird as fuck, and I'm down. Like, not only is it based on a Stephen King story, but it's Oz Perkins, right? Directed it, like the same guy that did Longlegs and Blackcoat's Daughter and all that, which I was like, that's a combo I need to see. Everyone is also telling us to go see Companion, which is playing at the theater at the moment. We still haven't seen Hard Eyes yet.
Yeah.
But man, I have had at least 10 people in the last few days tell me to go see Companion.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Maybe we'll go see it this weekend. We always say that, but then we never get off our asses and go to the movies. But, I mean, we might. I kind of really want to see it. I really want to see it.
Tammy mentioned electric tanks. Electric tanks would be a great idea because modern tanks are internal combustion, and the ones that we were using are turbine, and they got huge heat signatures. They can be spotted by satellites now. They're just destroyed instantly. Every tank we sent down there just got destroyed. The Russians destroyed them. The tanks are just kind of a thing of the past. You can destroy them with a fucking $1,000 quadcopter and a $50 fucking little fucking RPG round on the front of it. What they're going to build is they're going to build shit real small. It's going to be a robot with a missile on it or a gun on it. And it'll probably be AI and it'll probably be electric because that would be real stealth. There's no reason for a crew in there. That's all old technology. What a tank actually does could be done with AI and a robot. So it's not a tank. Once there's no people in it, it's not a tank. A tank is just like a vault, like a bank vault with a cannon on it. And cannons are not any good either. You want a missile, guided missile. So it'd probably just be a robot with treads, a couple guided missiles on the top of it, and it'd probably be about the size of a fucking four-wheeler, real small. And it'd be cheap, because it's going to get destroyed anyway. But it'd probably do a lot of damage, though, before it gets destroyed. You can't have anything big. The fucking secret weapon is happening right now. The main one is a fucking $1,500 Chinese motorcycle. That defeated a lot of drones. Because instead of having 6 guys in a big truck, you have 6 guys on these little bitty motorcycles. And the drone can only attack one motorcycle at a time. It might kill that guy, but the other 5 live. So they're just handing out motorcycles. So that's going back to the 1800s with the fucking bicycles and fucking horses. Same shit. So warfare is kind of going backwards in a certain ways. Going backwards in some ways and forwards in others. And we're totally unsuited for it. If we got into a fight with Russia right now, we'd get our asses kicked. Kicked bad. People don't know. I know.
Papa77 said Project Anagram was for... I knew there was a name for it, and I was thinking... Because I guess in the U.S. they call it Operation Blah-de-Blah, so I was thinking it was that. But yeah, Project Anagram. I knew it had a name. Papa said I know way too much about serial killers. Yeah, it's just kind of that sort of thing. Like I said, you write about true crime all the time, and sometimes I write about so many of them that I get the details confused, unless they're really, distinctive, like, and stand out in particular things. Like, sometimes I forget, but I probably know a lot more about them than is entirely healthy. That's for sure. But you know what I mean. I don't know, like, I was thinking about this the other day because Tom knows I fucking love true crime. I will happily sit there and watch hours and hours of shows about murders.
Yeah.
At night.
Here's the fucking thing. She'll watch those videos. I like them, but they're kind of depressing.
They are kind of.
And then afterwards, it sucks all the fucking sex out of me. I'm like, I can't fuck after watching that. I'm just, Jenny, she's still be in a mood. And I says,
yeah.
Man, I'm just not for seeing that shit.
It bothers me, but it doesn't bother me.
Doesn't put me in the mood.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't put me in the mood. That sounds weird, but it's just kind of like, I'm in the mood all the time, like regardless of what other outside stimuli is going on. So I think that's all it is. I think it's just like unrelated. But I don't know. I'm really into that kind of shit, and it's just like I don't know. I think a lot of women are like that, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm sure someone's done like a psychological study on it. Although last night we found out on Tubi that they had a recent season of Kitchen Nightmares. Because I didn't even know that Gordon was still doing that. And I guess he hadn't done it in a while, Kitchen Nightmares. But the one that we saw, I guess it must have been from last year because all the restaurants are in New Orleans. Yeah. And it's in the lead up to the Super Bowl, which obviously just happened like a couple weeks ago or whatever. So it must have been 2024. So I'm like, holy shit, I didn't even know he was still doing this, or he didn't see it, or we haven't seen it. So I started watching that, and I was like, oh man, I missed this show. Yeah. But I was thinking too, I was just like, when does Gordon Ramsay sleep? Has he cloned himself? So he had that show. He has Next Level Chef, which has a new season out, which I haven't been watching yet. He has a new Hell's Kitchen season. He has some other shit going on. He just had another kid, which I think is his 6th one. I'm like, so he has all this time to like do all this shit and manage his restaurants, and I'm sure he hires people to do that. But still, it's just kind of like, what the fuck, man? I don't understand how he has time to do all of this shit. It just makes me tired thinking about it. You know? But, I wanted to say, like, the first episode of the season, it was actually a 2-parter. It had, what was the name of the restaurant? Iberville. And all of the restaurants are in New Orleans, like I said.
Yeah.
And it was owned by, it was kind of your typical thing of like clueless ass people who didn't know anything about the restaurant business. I always dreamed of owning a restaurant, mostly so they could put a piano in there and play piano and sing and think everybody was going to like jizz their pants over it, which, spoiler alert, didn't happen. So this guy that owned it was a doctor. He was like an infectious disease specialist. And his wife is a nurse. And they decided they're going to buy this place. Now, the doctor, he mostly just comes in there and eats and plays the piano and sings and thinks he sounds like Louis Armstrong. He does not. And then everybody's like, what the fuck is this weird old dude doing? Like, singing, get the fuck, well, I'm trying to eat. Shut up. But he put his wife in charge of running the restaurant, and she didn't know jack shit about the stuff. But the thing that was freaking us out the whole time is just like, and I don't like to pick on people's physical appearance unless they're assholes, and then I totally will. But she seemed like a nice enough person. But what the fuck was going on with her face? I mean, she had the craziest looking eyes. It was, you remember, like, as far as Kitchen Nightmares go, you remember, like, Amy from Amy's Baking Company? She had those fucking crazy eyes. This chick had that, too, and she kept making faces, like Gordon would be talking to her, and she's sitting at the table, like, regular, and she'd just be, like, the eyes would get really big and kind of roll around. I was like, God, she looks like the Corpse Bride. And she was, like, real skinny, and she had, like, these real big cheekbones, and she kept pursing her lips all the time. Like, she'd be doing something, she'd be like, she kept going. I'm like, what is she doing? I'm like, is she over Botoxed? That's kind of all I could think of. Is that maybe she'd put so much Botox in her face that it was just kind of... And we thought, maybe we were speculating like the whole time. We were watching the show too. But we were kind of speculating like what was wrong. I was like, Tom's like, I think she has cheek implants.
Yeah, she was weird.
And I was like, yeah, it does look like cheek. But holy crap, she had like the craziest... And like I said, I hate to like pick on people's physical... Yeah. Because she seemed like a nice enough... She wasn't a cunt or anything like that. She seemed like a nice enough person. She was just kind of clueless. But, wow, she was, like, super weird looking. And we also got the distinct impression that she was much, much older than she looked. Yeah. Because at first, I was kind of thinking, oh, she was a lot younger than her husband. But as we looked at her closer, I'm like, no, man, they're probably the same age. But she's probably had a lot of work done. Yeah, but, like, you couldn't tell at first.
She looked pretty good for having to work. I mean, looked pretty good for having all that work and for her age. But she was just weird looking because of her facial expressions and shit. She was weird.
Yeah, she kept making, like I said, she kept like doing her mouth up like a cat's butthole. Yeah. And I was like, what is she doing? Does she know she's doing that?
No, I think she was just under a lot of stress.
I guess.
Tammy's talking about weapons procurement and shit like that.
Okay, we got another super chat.
Okay.
Papa gave us another super chat.
Thank you, Pop.
Person that just joined the chat named the Shaby? Does it say the Shaby? Am I pronouncing that right? Is my wife.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, hi. Hi, Papa's wife. Yeah. Nice to see you.
How the military procures weapons and equipment, and the way they've been doing it for a long time, is through a system of people that are bidding and a bunch of trials. A lot of times it didn't go real well because there's a bunch of big fucking money. You know, Halliburton, fucking Lockheed Martin, they're behind it. And on their board of directors, a bunch of ex-generals fucking making all kinds of money. Because what they do is they go up to a generals and people in the system and they say, if you fucking get our new jet approved, we'll give you a lifetime career in fucking Lockheed Martin on the board of directors. You don't have to do shit on the board of directors. Okay. So what the U.S. ends up buying is something that's really high tech, that breaks down a lot, and is very expensive. Because then they get fucking a shit ton of residuals off the contracts. That's a huge flaw in the American system. There should be no military-industrial complex. You shouldn't have any of these private companies making weapons. So none of that should exist. We need a system like Russia has, where the military has factories that make weapons. And the people that run those factories are military personnel, and they're not really making much. They make they make some stuff, they stockpile it, and then as they run stuff down, they may make a few tanks a month to replace old tanks, even though tanks are obsolete. I'm just using them as an example. And everything they make is good, it's serviceable, but it's very cheap because there's no profit in it. Because the factory is a state utility, like a state power plant or a library or some shit like that. You know, it's like a public school. And really, that's the way it should be, because then you'll get weapons that are reliable and cheap and plentiful when you need them, and you won't have corruption, war profiteering, and all this incentive to go to war to make money. So you have to take the money out of it. So that's how you do it. You cannot have all these companies. They need to be broken up, or they need to be nationalized. Then you just turn them into part of the Air Force or part of the Army. And then you decide whether or not you need things like tanks. You don't really need much of anything right now because everything's kind of obsolete and everything's in flux. Everything's changing so quickly. Anything you were to build now, 5 years from now, would be worthless. It'd be obsolete by then.
DVD Dragon said, you should open up a yoga/BJJ studio. Learn defense in the morning, learn your back arch game in the evening, elbow snapping, and thirst trapping.
Yeah.
I love that.
What did he say? That was a good one. Say that again.
Elbow snapping and thirst trapping.
Yeah.
That's what you put on the business card. I would totally go to a place that had that. Yeah, Papa77 said his wife is at home watching and I am at work, and she says, hi there, Shaby. How are you doing? Glad to see you. Yeah, Papa77 in here all the time. CB said, we all just watch Kitchen Nightmares to see Gordon Ramsay go batshit. Well, see, that's the thing. He went less batshit on the UK ones. Because I kind of feel like when they did the American version, they just like told him to like ramp it up. But one thing about Gordon Ramsay, I know he has like the reputation of being like this huge cock, and he just kind of like just yells at people and stuff. He does yell at people, but honestly, I think he generally only yells at people if they're being douchebags. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Like, because I've seen...
They're being resistant.
Yeah, if they're being, like, resistant to...
Resistant to the truth.
Like, if they have some huge ego and he's getting frustrated and stuff like that, then he starts yelling at them because that's kind of the only way to get through to them, maybe. But, I mean, if somebody... Because we were talking about this last night, and sometimes they'll have a restaurant owner that's clearly just very in over their head, but they know that they're in over their head. And we noticed that if they come in and say to Gordon, it's like, look, I know I'm fucking up. I don't know what I'm doing. Please help me. Like, he tends to be a lot nicer to them. I feel like he's usually only a dick to people that are a dick to him first. You know what I mean? In general, not always. But, you know, so that's kind of what I noticed anyway. Yeah, CB said, fun fact, Gordon Ramsay was a footballer, a soccer player in American parlance. Before he became a chef, he played for the Scottish team Rangers. Yeah, that's right. He actually he's actually quite a success story because he grew up with like a single mom, and I think his brother was like a drug addict, and he grew up like super poor and shit like that. But yeah, he was, we always laugh because every single episode, it seems like whenever he comes in, whatever restaurant it is, they're always, because, you know, everybody's seen him on TV and shit like that. But it's like when he comes in there, like every single woman in there, it seems like their panties get wet. So I don't know if he has some like kind of magical charisma kind of thing going on, but as soon as everybody comes in, everybody's like, wow, look at this motherfucker.
So Guitar Girls asked me, so Russia rules? No, you're fucking misunderstanding what I'm saying. Russia has a fucking very cost-effective military productive capability. They can produce shit equal to, or in some ways better, than what the Americans can make, but for a fraction of the cost. And it's because it's a government-owned facility making that, and they're making it at cost. And the people working on it are usually service people, you know. So they're just getting paid a standard check. They're not unionized labor or any of that other kind of stuff. They're a utility of the government, and that's the way it should be. That's a much better system. Because when World War II happened, and President Eisenhower warned about it, and it all came true, he said, these corporations have gotten so rich and so powerful after the Second World War that they're going to run the country. And they've been running it for fucking 70 years. Them and other ones. You don't want war to be a profit-making enterprise. It's just not for corporations. Your leadership will go to war. They just will, because they're going to make fucking money on it. And you say, well, defending people, this and that. America should not be an empire. It should only defend itself. People have to defend themselves now. And the world isn't as hostile as it was in the 20s. People don't really have people kind of know that technological warfare, you know, like mechanical warfare with fucking vehicles and shit, is not very effective. It doesn't really work.
Yeah, Oracle said, Gordon Ramsay is a Scottish chef. Yelling is part of the vocabulary. Yeah, I mean, you know what I mean. He yells, but, like, with a purpose. He's not just, like, yelling to be... Like I said, he gets frustrated sometimes, but I get frustrated with those people, and I'm also yelling at them, so I get it. Mr. Faster Than Light said, big fan of your Logan's Run movie and TV series reviews from 7 years ago. Thanks. That was kind of one of our most popular ones, and honestly, the Logan's Run movie review was one of the first ones we ever did.
That almost went viral for some reason.
Like maybe, I think when we put it up, which was what, like 2016, 2017, I don't think there were a lot of other reviews of it. I don't even remember what we said on there, because it was such a long time ago. But, yeah, for some reason people... And then when we did the TV series... Like, that got a lot of traction, too, because there wasn't a lot of reviews of the TV series either. The TV series is actually, like, really good. I didn't even know there was one until later, you know what I mean? Yeah, the Shavy says, we watch your recorded shows all the time. You guys are pretty awesome. That's pretty cool.
Thank you.
Like I said, I don't even watch them usually. Yeah. We have so many, and it's just, like, I'm always kind of, like... working on the next one, so I'm just kind of like, I very rarely go back and watch. Sometimes I'll go, the other day I went back and watched my History of Horror Movies video to see, because that seems to be, a lot of people seem to be watching that, and was our most popular video last year, so I spent a long time working on that, and I was kind of glad that, like, a lot of people watched it, you know what I mean? I don't remember how many views it has, but it's a lot. CB said, Bar Rescue is fantastic. John Taffer rips everyone a new asshole. I've seen that show a couple of times, and I remember liking it, but I haven't seen it, like, in a really long time. Yeah, DVD Dragon said, Gordon Ramsay got that cooking swag. Women love guys that cook. True. That's true. Tom cooks.
Cook like a motherfucker.
He cooks like a motherfucker.
Yeah. I cook pastries. I can make things pretty when I have time and really want to, but I used to work in kitchens and shit. I'd make pastries. Fucking all kinds of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cook bread, make cake, cupcakes. Fucking make salad dressing. Yeah, make salad dressing from scratch, bitch.
Yeah. He makes pretty much everything.
Blue cheese dressing from scratch. Yeah.
If we've got the stuff.
If I got the stuff, yeah.
And honestly, have the stuff. Yeah, I mean, he's been making stuff. Yeah. You know,
I can turn that
from
yogurt,
the garden and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I can turn the yogurt into sour cream, then sour cream and mayonnaise together, and then the spices, and then the blue cheese. I think it had a little bit of vinegar in it too. I think it's been a long time since I've made it. And then that's blue cheese dressing. You make green goddess with fucking avocado in it.
I like green goddess. I know that's kind of like an old school dressing, but they still sell it.
Most of the American cream dressings are just kind of a mixture of, it's a ratio of sour cream and mayonnaise. They're not hard to make. You just got to get all the ratios right.
Tom been making ice cream too.
I make ice cream also, yep. And sherbet.
Yeah. Yeah, he made some really good sherbet. He made some lemon sherbet and some berry sherbet.
Yep. Out of lemons and berries.
Out of actual lemons and berries. I think my favorite ones that you make a really good coffee ice cream.
Yeah.
And he made one that's mint that has like crunched up cookies in it.
Chocolate Oreo cookies.
Like chocolate Oreo cookies.
Yeah.
But it's so minty that the cookies taste like those Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah.
Even though they're not. They're just like Oreos.
Yeah.
Man, that's like...
And coffee ice cream is just... It's the same as vanilla ice cream. Except you add a few tablespoons of instant coffee to it. And I was using actually Brazilian instant espresso. It's just kind of a little bit more bitter.
That was some good shit.
And a little bit of salt. You put a little bit of salt in it. Kind of flavor enhance it. Give it kind of a fucking wang. Yeah.
It'd be good with chocolate chips in it too. Or chocolate chunks.
The thing is though, is every time I put chocolate in these ice creams, that shit gets rock hard.
Yeah.
It's that's why I went to the cookies. Because you get the chocolate flavor. And
that does turn out
But
better.
it's not as fucking hard. You're not going to break your teeth on them.
Yeah. Because, that man the shit gets real froze. Yeah, Tammy said, my daughter and I used to watch Gordon on BBC America. He had a show called The F Word. Yeah, I remember that show. I think I watched all of those. He doesn't make that anymore, does he? Because I feel like that didn't, I don't even think that aired over here. Like, other on BBC America, obviously it did, but it's just like, it wasn't on. I can't believe how many fucking shows because he does that other show too. What's that one where he goes around the world? I can't remember the fucking name. It's on Hulu, I think.
Yeah.
And they'll do a season and he just goes to like he went to Cuba and he went to Africa and he went to Australia and he just goes everywhere and like cooks with a local.
Yeah.
Like and tries to beat them like at their own. Not beat. That's not like a contest, but it's just like kind of fun. And he tries to like make the local food better than they can make it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's a fun show too. I can't remember the name of it though.
Guitar Girls asked me if I've
Uncharted.
Guitar Girls asked me if I've ever heard of Russian high-tech equipment. Yeah, the Russians made good shit. Especially when they had really good submarines. They still make good submarines. They had good jets, real good. The thing is that because you're Western and you're a civilian that doesn't have any experience in fucking fighting or anything, you think that militaries win through superior technology, and they don't. We lose, and we've lost all the wars against enemies that had inferior technology. The Viet Cong and the NVA were fucking miles behind us. We got asses kicked by Afghanistan. Fucking 75 IQ dudes wearing flip-flops. Okay, and AKs. What wins is fucking men that fight to the death. All right, they just never give up. And just fucking stick to, and people that can survive deprivation. You know, the Viet Cong lived in tunnels underneath ground for fucking months at a time, with just eating a little bit of fucking cold fish and rice and shit. They just kept fighting, and you just couldn't kill them all. So that's how, and 10 years later, you're like, fuck it, and you just leave. We couldn't handle Iraq, and that was really only one city. So you don't need technology. This is a thing that the military-industrial complex has like sold to people. When I was in the infantry, what we wanted shit that was dependable, real rugged, because everything's being abused. Anything that was kind of high-tech, like night vision goggles and shit like that, they broke. Or it was so cold, the fucking batteries would all die. Fucking thermal night vision for fucking our wire-guided missiles never really worked. And it was cumbersome. It wasn't something you could use in seconds because you've been attacked, so the response time's real low. But M16 is real simple. That worked. They worked, and fucking belt-fed machine guns worked, kinda. What you need weapons that are cheap, very tough, and can be produced quickly in vast numbers. Because real war is wars of attrition. And America has not been in a war of attrition really ever. The Russians been in a bunch of wars of attrition. That's where you're not trying to speed the war up. You're trying to slow the war down. The more slowly the war happens, the better. Because you're in the rear fucking, and every year more guys reach 18 years of age. More weapons and shit are being produced. And you're not burning it up that fast because you're going slow. And all you're trying to do is trying to kill more people, more enemy soldiers than they are killing of you. So everything's real conservative. You make contact with the enemy, then you pull back, and you just shell them. You just shell them and shell them and shell them, and then you try to get around them in case they're running out the back. You shell them and shell them and shell them. So, and then if you have to get in real close, then you can fight them with rifles. And that's all low tech. What is high tech that's working is those little quadcopters, and they're only a couple $100. That's working. But a military industrial complex will never allow us to use a $200 fucking quadcopter. It's not a profit. They're going to want a fucking $6 million, $30 million jet. So you got a $30 million jet to drop a fucking $2,000 bomb. When you could put a fucking $40 fucking RPG round on a fucking $600 drone and run it into a tank, and that tank costs fucking $2 million. So there's economy happening. It's not like on the movies. And you don't want the war to be over soon. That's something that fucking Napoleon tried, and that's Western European thinking and German thinking from fucking blitzkrieg tactics and shit. And back when generals used little fucking toys on maps and shit, trying to make these brilliant wars of maneuver. We're going to cut off their supply. None of that works. It just doesn't work. That was made up by people that have really small armies, and it's old, 1700s. If you have big armies, all you want to do is you try to outkill the enemy. Kill as many of them as you can and take your time. And it's just the attrition. And you wear down their will to fight. That's how you do it. It's easier. It's better. It works. And you attack their breeding population. That's another thing. Because the dude on the front line, if his wife and kids get killed, he barely got nothing to fight for anymore. And every year they're reaching 18 years of age joining that army back there. That's why we were bombing the shit out of fucking Japan. You know, we killed 63 cities burned to the ground. Fucking millions and millions of civilians, women and children burnt to death. We never talk about that though. America's the good guy. Yeah, right. Had we lost that war, Curtis LeMay, who ran that bombing campaign, would have been hanged as a fucking war criminal. Just telling the truth. Okay, I'm done on that rant.
Good, because I got way behind on other comments. That's like, because, Papa77 said, I love how Jenny is talking about one subject and talking about
talking about another.
Well, like I said, I'm just trying to answer people's questions.
Yeah, so am I.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? And there's a lot more questions about what I was talking about than what he was talking about. All right, so DVD Dragon said, I saw the piece about Gordon Ramsay in the Colombian jungle making cocaine from scratch. Oh, I never saw that. Now I'm going to have to find that. Lots of people did not know that gasoline was used in the production of cocaine. I did actually know that. I don't know how I know that. I probably just saw it mentioned somewhere. But yeah, I haven't seen that piece though. Big Joe Grizzly said the 2013 film Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters, I've heard of that, but I don't think I've ever seen it, would make a great Monday movie review. I will write it down. Like I said, I kind of wanted to go to the theater and see Companion, but if we don't go, then I'll look that up and see if it's streaming anywhere. You know what I mean? Because I do kind of want to see that. I heard that it was pretty good, but I don't think I've ever seen it, unless I just watched it and I'll remember. I don't really know. That happens sometimes. Let's see. CB said, I put my mushrooms in cookies and my girlfriend accidentally gave one to her grandfather and his TV started to argue with him. Oh no. I've never done mushrooms actually. I'm not a big, I've done LSD, smoked pot a few times. I did coke once or twice, but that's about it. The only one I liked was LSD, honestly. That was super fun. But other than that. Anyway, let's see. Phantom says the 1988 Ruggero Deodato film Phantom of Death starring Michael York and Donald Pleasance would make a great Monday review. Just saying, and now everybody's arguing about what's going to be a good... I think I've seen that. I'm pretty sure we haven't reviewed it, but I think I've seen it. But I'll write it down just in case, because that sounds very familiar. Oh, Phantom of the Mall, Eric's Revenge. Yeah, he's giving us all these ideas for shows, Monday reviews. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Then he's talking about Blood Theater starring Mary Warnoff. Yeah, I feel like I've seen that too, but yeah, Mr. Fast and the Light said Companion is a cool dark comedy. Yeah. Everybody and their mother is telling me to go see that movie. Seriously. Victor says everyone has a coke phase, right? Yeah. I mean, I feel like most people have, well, no, I don't want to say most people, but most people have an experimental phase, sure, where you're trying shit out. Sometimes it's drugs, sometimes it's hoeing around, sometimes it's both of those things. I didn't really do my experimental stuff until I was like older, because I married young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I married when I was 22.
Yeah.
So
not to me.
Not to you,
Somebody,
obviously.
I'm the second husband.
He's the second.
Yeah. She's the second wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've both been married before.
Right.
But like I said, my ex-husband looks like Bible John.
Yeah.
He's not Bible John though. Like I said, don't think my ex-husband was a serial killer. No, not really. It just freaked me out when I was doing the thing about that, and they did like and it wasn't just like a sketch or nothing. They did like a painting of what they thought this dude looked like, because they had like a description of him because he'd been at that club a bunch of times, and I was like, holy shit, that looks exactly like my fucking ex-husband. Exactly. Like red hair and everything. Holy crap.
I remember your husband kind of looking like a tall Alfred E. Newman.
No, he didn't look like Alfred.
Okay.
He didn't look like Alfred.
Okay. I only saw him a couple times.
Yeah, I mean,
I haven't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know
Yeah.
what became of him, honestly. He went back to
Wales.
He went back to the UK like a long time ago, but I don't know what happened to him since then. I don't really. I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not a big past person. I'm always just kind of like, past is over. I'm not a big nostalgia person or anything like that, so I never really feel the need to be like, hey, I wonder what so and so is doing that I haven't seen for 20 years. It's like, I don't really care. You know what I mean? I don't know why, because I kind of feel like a lot of people are kind of like, especially like people when they get older, they're always just kind of like, you know, it's like, oh, remember this, remember that, and they're always like looking up old. It's like, I wonder what so and so looks like now and stuff like that. I've literally like never thought that. I don't know why. Like, you know, I had friends back then and people, but I don't know. It was a long time ago, so I'm not really, you know, it's not really the same time anymore.
Yeah.
I'm not the same person. I'm sure they're not the same people. So it's just like, I'm not even really curious about it. I don't know why, but I'm just not. CB said, cocaine is shit. It had no effect on me. I didn't really have, I don't know. The coke that we got.
It was bad.
I think was not.
No, I've had good stuff before.
Because it didn't really.
Yeah,
it didn't really seem to do much of anything.
The danger with that shit.
It made me feel slightly more sober. That was about it.
Yeah, we'll do. Yeah, we used to do it when we were drunk, so we could keep drinking.
Yeah.
But I don't remember it really having much effect at all. That one, but it was just a small amount anyway. But the dangers of snorting coke, anything that's a powder, is fucking gone way up, because a lot of the shit's fucking laced with fentanyl.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
So this was a long time ago what she's talking about.
Watch it.
Fentanyl wasn't a problem. I wouldn't fucking do anything.
Yeah, this was like several years ago.
I wouldn't do anything that looked like any kind of powder today. I mean, I could taste something and tell what it is.
Because
you never know if there's fucking fentanyl in it.
Yeah. Because I don't know where the fuck that came from. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Next thing you know, you're fucking hooked on fentanyl. You're a fucking junkie.
Yeah, and that's kind of a big problem.
Or they'll put fucking methamphetamine in it or something. You know?
And I feel like, particularly like where we live, like in rural areas in the U.S., like meth is a huge fucking problem.
Yeah.
A huge problem.
Biker gangs make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like, well, even wasn't there like a few miles away from here, like a few months back? Wasn't there some shootout?
Shootout over just
pretty sure it was a meth lab.
Yeah. It wasn't though.
It wasn't?
No.
Oh, it was just like a That's right. It was like a Hatfields and McCoys type situation.
It was a feud between two families.
Oh, okay. And they were like shooting at each other.
The ones that they all had guns, but there was one in a trailer that lived next to a house, and the people that were in the trailer was a couple. They were convinced that the people in the house were molesting kids, and they kept harassing them all the time. They were fighting all the time, calling them pedos and shit.
Oh dear.
And then something happened to where that guy came onto their property, and they pulled out fucking AKs or AR-15s, some kind of assault rifles, and started shooting at him. And I don't think they killed him though, did they?
I didn't think anybody got killed. But I just heard like kind of nebulous details.
Yeah, then they called the cops. And then the cops came, and I think they had a shootout with the cops. Did they get killed though, or did they surrender? I think they got killed. I think.
I'd have to look it up. I don't remember
look.
all the details. Yeah. It was like not right by our house, but it was probably like
6 miles, 7 miles.
Yeah, like 5 or 6 miles, something like that.
It was in. It was outside our community. Is down one of these fucking country type roads where there are small houses and occasional trailers, and it was a trailer.
Yeah,
where the ones,
of course
they were trying to rescue them children.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, even if that was the case, which I'm sure it probably wasn't, but even if it was, it's like, why don't you call the proper authorities instead of like thinking that you're gonna go over there and like, what is that about? What is it with these people thinking they're like the stars of their own movies or something? Like you're gonna go over there like fucking Rambo and save the day or something. It's like, just call the fucking cops or whatever.
I think they did. I think the cops had been over there before.
Maybe. Well, maybe nothing was going on.
Yeah.
And maybe they should
were
just...
convinced that they were molesting kids.
Well, maybe they're just stupid and they should just mind their own
Or maybe they
business.
were. Maybe they were. Who knows?
Who knows?
Maybe they thought they were molesting kids over there. They were trying to put an end to it.
Okay.
I don't know, but I don't know. That's just what I heard on the news. It was local news, and they didn't seem to like pick a side.
Well, probably because they didn't know.
They didn't know.
And they're like, obviously they can't say, these people were for real, like, because, they're going to get sued.
They just said what one side was, the allegations of one side. That they alleged that the other people were over there fucking molesting kids. And it had been going on for a long time that they were fighting back and forth.
Yeah.
The two houses, yeah.
CB said, I did cocaine out of my girlfriend's belly button, and I walked in on my cousin doing cocaine off his wife's ass. All right. Yeah. That was a fun party, wasn't it? Phantom is saying, like, he's given us some more recommendations for movies. Zombie High from 1987 with Virginia Madsen. That might be fun. And he mentions the 1985 film, Just One of the Guys. Actually, I've seen that movie probably about 3 dozen times because it used to be on cable all the time back in the 80s and 90s. And it is a funny-ass movie. Like, it is pretty funny. It's kind of... It's about this girl, and I think she's in high school, and she's like a journalist, and they won't publish her thing because she's a girl, because woman cooties. And so she pretends to be a boy and like registers at another school. So she's like pretending to be a guy at the other school. And, shenanigans ensue. It's actually like pretty funny. And Clayton Rohner, who was also in April Fool's Day, which is one of my favorite movies from the 80s, which is a horror movie, but also kind of like a black comedy, is in it as well. And I kind of feel like he doesn't get mentioned all that much. He was in a bunch of movies in the 80s, man. He was fucking everywhere. And nobody like even knows his name, I feel like. Yeah, Victor says Just One of the Guys has the second best boob reveal ever. It does have a good boob reveal. What's the first one, though? I'm curious.
What is it?
The second best boob reveal.
On what?
Just One of the Guys.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about like for the last few minutes.
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, it's like a comedy like from the 80s. Like it's not a sex comedy exactly, but it's kind of like a teen comedy kind of thing. Teen comedy. Have we done a show about Bobby Joe Long? He is right there in Florida. Probably not. Man, I'm writing down so much stuff. People coming up with all of these fucking... All right, I'm going to have lots of polls like for the next few weeks. Oh my god. Oh, Victor says the best one is in the TV show Eastbound and Down. Okay, see, I've never seen that TV show. Wait, is that a new show or an old show? Because are they talking about that fucking song that was in... It wasn't Cannonball Run. What was the other one where they were driving the... What was the one with Bert Reynolds? Where they were driving the beer in the truck?
Yeah, it was called Smokey the Bandit.
Smokey and the Bandit, there you go. Guy was like...
And there were 2 of those.
Yeah.
Strangely enough.
I think we reviewed the first Smokey and the Bandit, didn't we? Because we went off on a Burt Reynolds-a-thon.
Yeah, I think we did review it.
And we did White Lightning and Gator.
Malone
and a couple other ones. But I think we did the first Smokey and the Bandit, but I don't remember.
I think we did Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
We did do Best Little Whorehouse in Texas.
Yeah. That was a good movie, man. That was a great movie.
I actually like that movie.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton is just like cute as a button.
She's great, yeah. Big old
great.
boobs. Yeah.
Big old boobs.
Yeah. This little Southern shake, big boobs. No. Smoking the Bandit and a lot of that stuff that Burt Reynolds was in were coming out of studios. Those weren't Hollywood movies. Those were from Nashville. Those were movies fucking made by the South for the South, really. And I think they only got theatrical releases in the South. But they ended up on fucking cable TV. On the cable fucking movies channels. And they were fucking huge hits.
Yeah, man. That shit. Smokey and the
Smoking the
Bandit
Bandit,
was on like HBO or cinema like every 5 minutes, it seemed like. It was always on.
And I think he was also in Cannonball Run, wasn't he?
Yeah.
But I think that was a Hollywood movie, I think.
I mean, that was also always on cable because I must have seen that.
That was on Cannonball Run, yeah.
You know, when I was a teenager, you know, in the early 80s, tween teenager in the early 80s, and we had cable. We got cable in 81, and we had all the pay channels and stuff. And they didn't have that many movies, so they would like run the same ones over and over. And I kind of feel like Smokey and the Bandit, Cannonball Run. I'm trying to think of like the ones they used to show all the time. Time After Time, that was on all the time. Death Trap, the Pirate movie, which is kind of a shitty remake of the Pirates of Penzance with Christy McNichol. I probably saw that a million times too. The Friday the 13th movies, usually part 2, that got played a lot. Just One of the Guys, April Fool's Day, just all that. I remember like all of those being on like all the time. Every time you turned it on, like at least one of those movies was on. You know? That's why I'd seen Just One of the Guys like so many fucking times, because that was on all the time. I'm trying to, there was other ones too, but I can't remember them right now. But those are the ones that like first came to mind.
We did Sharky's Machine also.
Yeah, that's right. I knew we had done like a fuck ton of Bert Reynolds movies because we went off on a whole tear.
White Lightning, Gator.
Yeah.
Sharky's Machine was actually the best of them all, really. But in terms of just film, it was a really cool fucking cop flick, taking place in Atlanta, and Gene Simmons from Kiss was the bad guy. Wasn't he?
No, that was that Runaway movie.
Oh, yeah. I got that confused. That was the one with Tom Selleck.
With Tom Selleck in it.
The bad guy.
The other guy.
It was
with
a
the
good
mustache.
bad guy. Who was the dude that was a bad guy in that? He was familiar though too. He was from another movie.
I can't remember.
Wasn't Gene Simmons?
Yeah, he was the bad guy in Sharky's Machine.
Yeah, bad guy in Sharky. Yeah.
No, I can't remember. No, but I did remember that Gene Simmons was the bad guy in Runaway.
Runaway. That's about the robots.
With the robot.
That's right.
Yeah.
He was using the fucking sonic gun or the light pulsing gun.
That's a ridiculous movie. It's still fun. It's fun though.
It's terrible.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Terrible. I mean,
it's ridiculous. I had a good time with it though. I thought it was really entertaining.
Obviously, just like Tinker Toys moving real slow.
It was really entertaining. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that one of those robots in there was a copy machine.
Yeah, it's a copy machine. I think
I would bet a significant amount of money.
That was the one that was in the kitchen that tried to shoot him, right?
Yeah, I think that was a Xerox.
Shot him with a laser.
I think it was a Xerox machine.
It was the most ridiculous shit ever.
It is pretty ridiculous.
They were trying to fucking make a movie kind of like RoboCop.
Yeah.
And Tom Selleck was playing a futuristic cop that had to fucking terminate fucking robots gone wild.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was.
The thing is the robots were fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, they didn't
just
look
not threatening at all. They weren't threatening at all.
They were just like clearly like office machines.
Office machines on wheels moving around.
On wheels that were like moving around.
Some of them look like spiders, but they barely look like a spider. They look like they were made out of fucking erector set stuff.
Yeah. I'm just like, I'm pretty sure I could run away from
that. You just run away from that shit.
Or just step on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what was preventing people from just going, quit, and just like squishing it. Gallon Fox says, was it Henry Silva?
Oh, man.
It might have been.
Might have been, yeah.
Man, Henry Silva, he was in everything. He had that fucking... He always played a villain, though, because he had that kind of pockmarked sort of face. You know what I mean? Yeah, Phantom said Runaway was a decent sci-fi flick.
Well, the story wasn't bad, but the fuck...
Yeah. But like I said, it's really entertaining. I find it really entertaining.
Yeah, just the first part of the movie where fucking Tom Selleck's fucking engaging the damn robots. Going on calls. One of them was out in a field, remember? It was a fucking farming robot. I remember
that's right.
Yeah.
So that was his whole job, was like when robots go haywire, he gets the call.
And he didn't really fucking exhibit any kind of really special skills. If you ask me, anybody could take care of that robot with a fucking shotgun or...
Well, that's what I mean. It's like, I don't know why they needed... It's not like he came there with like some specialized equipment and was like, I'm gonna like shut the shit down or anything like that, or he just like unplugged it or... You know? I don't... Like, he didn't really... But he would just come and did what anybody else would do, which just like kind of fucking shoot it.
Yeah, but I think the movie, if I remember correctly, moved away from that and went to Gene Simmons and his company that he was working for. He was like one of their assassins, or maybe he didn't run the company, did he? I think he was
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought he just worked for them.
They were doing some fucking technology that was gonna fucking threaten the world or something, take over all the other robots. He had robots.
Yeah, Gene Simmons was gonna take over the world.
Wasn't he gonna take over all the robots? Something like that.
Yeah, I think he was trying to control all the robots.
Yeah, something like that.
And then what? I don't remember how the spider thing came into play though. The spider robot.
They were the little robots that they made.
See, like I said, I just don't see how that would be that much of a threat though. That's all I'm saying.
We're climbing up the side of the building.
And you'd be like, ooh, oh my god, they're moving at like fucking 2 miles an hour. Whatever shall I do? You know what I mean? You could just fucking knock them off there. There, yeah. It broke. See?
That was the same dude that did fucking Westworld.
Yeah.
Michael Crichton books.
Which was a much superior film. We did Westworld and we did the sequel, which I didn't even know there was a Westworld sequel until I just randomly came across it on Amazon Prime.
I don't remember the sequel.
Yeah, we did. It was Future World, right? Or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember much about it.
Yeah, it was okay, but it wasn't like super.
He also did Coma, didn't he?
Michael Crichton.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he might have written the book behind Coma.
Yeah.
We reviewed Coma.
There's always some kind of like.
Yeah. Well, he was a doctor.
Yeah.
So he always did like kind of medical or technology based horror. That was like his thing.
Yeah. Remember Looker?
Yeah, we did that one.
Yeah.
We did that one.
And that was just a weird premise where they were using computers to generate the perfect face so they could sell these products.
Yeah, that's like the perfect woman.
Like AI porn.
Yeah, essentially.
Basically,
essentially is what they were trying to do.
Somehow that was a threatening technology. I don't remember how they spun that into something that was threatening.
It's like seems like really naive, like
naive. He had no idea
compared to the shit they have nowadays. Which is just like where they have
seen some fucking generated AI porn that's just fucking amazing proportions on people, just all these exaggerated shit, and really you're like, and it's just purely made up by a computer.
I mean, you can still usually tell when something is AI.
Yeah, and people don't look that good.
If you know, if you know what to look for, like there's a lot of tells, but
sometimes there's 6 fingers.
I kind of feel like as time goes on, it will obviously get a lot better, but. Honestly, you were saying, like, cause he bought some porn that he thought that I would like. Yeah. And he bought it because it was old.
Yeah, from '96.
So it was like $1 or something.
Yeah, fucking. There's a site called, I think it's called Adult Empire, and you can buy the ability to stream only for like $6 to $11 a whole movie, or you can buy it by the scene. And what it allows you to do is it allows you to cast it to your smart TV. So I like to use that service. We once had Brazzers, but we had to pay like $20 a month for it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
And the selection wasn't any good. And fucking, they were kind of cheesy studio shit.
Which I don't really like.
Kind of stale.
I'm not anti-porn. I just don't like a lot of the studio stuff. I don't like the contrived stuff.
Yeah.
I tend to like amateur porn.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like a lot of women that watch porn, because a lot of women don't, and I usually prefer erotica, like written erotica. But if you're going to watch porn, most women like it better if it's people that actually look like they're having a good time.
Yeah.
Like people who actually know each other and who would actually be sleeping together even if they weren't being filmed.
Yeah, well that's basically what this one is. There was a series in the, not around... Started in the 90s. I think it might have went into the early 2000s. I'm not sure. It's called Shane's World. It was kind of like reality TV because that was big at the time. And most of it, you can't get it downloaded. And a lot of times it's out of print. You can't even get it on it because I checked because that service you can buy physical medium. And they had all the stuff, but they didn't have it for download, You couldn't get a digital copy. You don't really have a digital copy. You access the ability to download it or to stream it. Excuse me. But they had a compilation of the one I was gonna get her anyway, and it was the time they would pick it up Tiffany Towers from Canada. They'd pick her up at the airport and do all fucking crazy. If you guys don't know who Tiffany Towers was back in the 90s, she was this little skinny blonde Canadian chick with just massive implants.
Yeah, they're pretty.
They looked good though, They're just that was the look back then. And Shane and her husband, her husband was a guy from porn, and I don't think Shane was though. I don't from the way I remember the story, that was just a girl he met. And they started making these videos together, and he'd have his porn friends come over and they'd shoot scenes. So I got it for her, showed it to her, and she's like, "Oh yeah." So what do you think of it?
Yeah, I liked that a lot more. I mean, I think shit like that is a lot hotter because it was kind of like a compilation of them. Like most of it was them bringing Tiffany Towers to their house.
Yeah, hanging out with
and then
restaurants.
And yeah, like doing that, but then like
fooling around in fucking bars.
Yeah, but it was mostly like the two women.
Yeah.
And the guy was just like kind of filming it.
Yeah.
And every now and then he'd kind of like come in and squeeze somebody's butt or something like that. But he wasn't mostly wasn't in it. And it was mostly like the two chicks, and you could tell they were super into it. Like they were having a really, really good time. And there was no professional lighting. It was just kind of like the shitty light from the camera. That's all it was. So it looked a little bit, not illicit, but it just looked like somebody's like, hey,
homemade.
Like just homemade. Yeah. And it's like, I liked that a lot better because you could tell that everybody was friends and everybody was having a good time.
And the shit that they were saying was authentic. They're not being directed by a director or anything. There's no script. So.
Yeah. Like, it was funny, like, they're doing some shit, and then, like, the one girl was like, oh my god, I got a cramp, I got a leg cramp, or some shit like that. And she was, like, trying to...
Bloopers are in there.
And it's like, yeah, so it seemed, like, very real.
Yeah.
So nothing seemed fake. Because, like I said, I don't really like any of that kind of fake... Yeah, Papa said the same thing. It said, you sound like my wife, Jenny. She doesn't like over-actors in porn. Yeah, it's just, like, all of this... over the top, like, moaning and screaming, and it's just like, look, nobody does that. It's just like, please stop, and you know what I mean?
Well, another thing is that, we got friends in the industry. A lot of those girls fucking show when they're doing fucking studio porn. Their agent says, okay, tomorrow at 3:00, boy girl scene, can you do it? And fucking, they'll give you the price, like $1,200. And she's like, and you go like, well. What studio is it? And they go, and she's like, you're not gonna be a problem, are you? They don't even want to tell her what the studio is.
Yeah, it's like, what exactly am I gonna be doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and so they kind of treat them just like shit, really, unless they're fucking big names. A lot of these agencies out in L.A. and shit. They don't want them asking any questions. Do you want the job or not?
Yeah.
But the girls are like, well, wait a minute, fucking, who is this and what is gonna be? And they'll give them the uniform what they want them to wear. And they might give them a little basic thing, but they won't say what studio it is because the agents know that she will go on the internet and see the other videos that were made by that studio with that theme. And if she doesn't like how that looked, she's gonna like, I don't want to. That makes me look bad.
Yeah.
So she say no. Well, the thing is that if you tell them no a couple times, you're out of the industry. You'll lose that agent.
Yeah, that's the thing.
So they're kind of being, in a way, forced into it. And so some of this studio shit that you'll see, especially kind of like the lower end studio stuff, that girl showed up on that set not knowing what was going to happen.
Not really knowing what was going to go on.
Yeah. And then when she gets there, she's like, oh, okay.
Oh, shit.
All right. Not really my thing, but all right, we'll try to get through it somehow.
Yeah. And a lot of times you can tell that they're just like not 100%.
Right. And then he's telling her to say and do certain and act in a certain way that's not in character for her, and not really kind of like doesn't really match the vibe on the set, So a lot of times it sucks.
Yeah,
now,
I don't know.
The high end industry stuff's a little bit better because those people are treated a little bit better. They know more of what was going on. They knew what they were usually going to be
getting into, right?
And I don't like it because it's artificial and very polished. Sometimes I like that look, but I know that that's not real sex. That's just basically a commercial.
Yeah.
But like old Gonzo from the 90s or homemade shit from OnlyFans or MiniVids, because we got shit on MiniVids too. You can find shit on there that was somebody that made that at home.
Yeah.
And that was what they wanted to do.
Yeah, because they didn't have to do that.
They didn't have to do that, yeah.
No one's making them.
Yeah, they didn't have a director or an agent or anything. Some of them do, but those girls are also doing studio stuff. Because a lot of the ones that are doing studio stuff are also doing stuff on mini-vids, because that's product that they own. So they will always make money on that because they own that one. The one they did from the studio, they don't own that. They just got paid to act in it, and it's a one-time deal, and after that, they own it. They can do whatever they want with it. They can edit it any way they want. And once it's one and done, she never sees any money on it. But something she makes at home, she can make money on that for years. People buying that.
Yeah, you just put it up and like somebody might buy it like 2 years from now.
Right.
You don't really know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now they usually have to have a lot of stuff, or it has to attract a lot of attention to make any significant amount.
Because there's so much of it.
There's so much competition. Right.
Yeah, I mean it's just really hard to make any money at it.
Yeah.
You can, but you really got to fucking hustle. You know.
Some of it's just real fucking simple. And the girls have target marketed it to a specific fucking thing, like a hole in the market or something where there's not much. There's demand for that, and there's not very much product for it. Like girls with toys, but she's like a size queen. She can take huge toys, and she just fucking puts on a show in her room with decent lighting, with just technology, probably sometimes not even good in ours. But she has the skill to take the huge fucking rubber 14-inch fucking.
I mean, I can't
stick.
help but be impressed with
Yeah,
some of those.
it's more like a stunt.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's particularly arousing, but I'm just like, wow.
I think it's pretty hot.
You go, girl.
I think it's pretty hot.
I'm not putting that up my butt, that's
Yeah.
for sure. But yeah.
Yeah. But she's not working with any dudes. She's married, because she mentions her husband. I've seen some of her videos. She mentions her husband and shit. Oh yeah, we're gonna go down there. We're gonna go to this party. I'm gonna have this inside me the whole time. I'll take a video when I get there, fucking in the bathroom. She'll. Then we're coming back. She's going to the Christmas.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah. She's into Uber and shit, driving.
I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and her husband's fucking. She's in her mid-20s, late 20s. Her husband's fucking. She's got a skirt on, and underneath there, she's flashing him. He's got things in there, strapped into her, and she's laughing.
Yeah,
it's just kind of fucking goofy when you think about it, but you're like, it is kind of hot. You're like, damn, you're gonna go to a party like that?
Yeah, okay. That's what I mean. Like, kind of thinking about it.
Yeah, because it's in public. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, public kind of shit. I do kind of like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, Shavy said it ruins the porn to watch with me if it's overacting because I'll make fun of it the entire time. Yeah, it's like super, super distracting. Yeah. Like I said, especially if they're just making way too much noise and stuff like that. I'm like, okay, I can't. I just can't stop yelling like that. You know what I mean? Oh my god. Yeah, Papa77 said, do you know how hard it is to find BDSM amateur BBW porn video longer than 20 minutes? I do. Yeah. I mean, some stuff, like I said, Tom found this place where, because he likes a lot of porn from the 90s.
Yeah.
Adult
Empire.
Like, like amateur porn and stuff like that. Because he remembers ones from back then.
Back when, ones I used to rent.
That he used to rent. And he's just like, oh, you probably like this one. And and a lot of them, they have them, like, available for download. And they're like, for like $1 or something like that. Or a couple of bucks.
There was one I've been trying to remember its name. My ex-girlfriend fucking Tiff, it was Stephanie. That loved that one. And every time I'd find that tape, it'd be moved to that one section. Over to one.
She kept going to that same
and it was two girls in a fucking strip club getting ready room with sinks and shit. It didn't have toilets in it, but it had sinks and mirrors and shit. And they're in there just fucking throwing down on you. I don't remember the name of the girls, and I don't remember. I tried to look for it to see if it jogged my memory, and I couldn't find it. And I think it was like Where the Boys Aren't number 6 or something.
I was like, that is the best porn title ever.
Something like that. I think it was like maybe 3 or 4, and that would have been about 96 probably. Okay. 95 or 96.
Because when he told me the name of that, I was like, oh my god, that's the best porn title ever. I think that might slightly edge out My Ass is Haunted, which was my previous favorite porn title, which is a Belladonna movie.
Yeah.
But I was like, Where the Boys Aren't, that's awesome. Like, for lesbian porn, that's so good.
Yeah, it was all lesbian.
I was like, that's hysterical. Because I was like, that's kind of a deep cut. I don't really know if people know Where the Boys Are, like that song or whatever the fuck. So it's like, because that's kind of old.
You see, for you youngsters, now you old people know what I'm talking about, especially you guys.
You old people. We're old
in the
too, it's okay.
90s, there was a long spate. It probably lasted about 8 years, 10 years of what they used to call vegetarian porn.
Yeah.
And that was these girls that would not take any meat. Okay, it was just lesbian. But they were really good looking, real good. And they were mostly strippers, like high-end strippers. And they wouldn't have sex with dudes because they had boyfriends.
Yeah.
Or husbands sometimes. So there was something about it from that period of time when it came to recruiting. They tended to be a lot better looking than the girls who did. That didn't last long though. Because eventually fucking you had girls that looked that good were willing to fucking just do everything. So then they kind of phased out. They couldn't be competitive eventually. Some of them I think started doing carnivorous porn, you know.
Carnivorous porn.
Yeah, I think some of them went carnivorous. But I remember at the time, vegetarian porn. People were complaining about vegetarian porn.
It's like, there's no dicks in this.
Yeah,
What's going
no
on?
meat in that.
CB said the only porn I like is woman on woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I don't know. I kind of like all. I know it when I see it. I don't know if I like particular things. I do like woman on woman. I like gay porn too. I also like trans porn. You know, just like I said, I'll know it when I see it. Generally, I'm pretty open to anything as long as it's kind of like amateur and the people look like they're having a good time. Like, this is something that they would be doing even if someone wasn't filming them. You know what I mean? Like, the second I get like one of the women's expressions be like, man, just kill me. It's like, I wish this was over. You know what I mean? It's just like kills the whole entire mood. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just here for the paycheck kind of thing. That's why I like this one that Tom was showing me, because these were just, I mean, they sold these, I guess, but it's just kind of like they weren't trying to like make them look good or anything like that. They were just filming with a fucking 90s era camera with like a shitty light on it. And they were just filming shit that they did. And they were just having a good time. And it's like, hey, here's our friend. And here's my wife having sex with this other woman and stuff like that. And he was just kind of filming it. And it was just like, they were just hanging out. You know what I mean? And I liked that a lot more. A lot more. Zach said I just sent Tom a funny meme relevant to the porn talk. And he'll see it in a second. He'll show it to me. Because I have to go to the bathroom too. But he went before me. So now I have to wait. CB said, I said a few weeks ago my mom found out about my fetish when she saw the bill for the belly button porn when I was 13. Yeah, she probably had to pay for it back then. I don't know how. You can probably get it free now. You know, I know a lot of people do pay for porn. Like I said, we did Streammate, and so there's plenty of people out there paying for shit. They were, I mean, a lot of them were trying to scam free shit out of you all the time, but that was one thing. But a lot of people were willing to pay, interestingly. So I guess people do still pay for shit. But there is so much free stuff out there. Okay, now I have to go to the bathroom.
Well, the thing is, though, is that if anything's good and it's free, it's going to be kind of bootlegged and eventually it'll be taken down.
Yeah, that's true.
The shit that's free on there usually is like little snippets, and they're trying to get you to join on other sites and buy shit. So you just might as well pay for it. Okay. Okay, Zach said he just sent me a meme relevant to the porn. I'll go look at it. Hold on. I'll go check it out. Oh, wait a minute. Might have sent that to Messenger, maybe? Yeah. Okay. Hold on, let me see. I got a fucking full screen it. It's a bunch of little animals and a crab. Straight guys telling a bunch of gay LGBT porn. He's saying, "Oh, you guys get out." And then fucking he stops one that says lesbian porn. He goes, "Except you." Yeah. I actually saw some data. Now, I think SideQuest is here. I saw some data that suggested that when it came to like downloads and online activity, the lesbians actually preferred to watch gay porn between guys.
I like gay porn too.
That was kind of mind-boggling. Why would lesbians want to watch gay porn? You think they don't want to watch lesbian porn?
I don't know.
They're watching gay porn.
I like all kind of porn.
That's what the data was suggesting from the online. Maybe it's just a certain online segment that leaves a footprint of that, but maybe that doesn't represent all of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, people's sexual preferences and proclivities are very complicated. Like I said, I don't even know if I like particular. It's like I don't know if I like particular things so much as, I mean, there's things I don't like. It's like, yeah, I don't want to see this or that and the other thing, but it's just like other things I'm kind of open to. I'm like, well, let's see this. Let's see how this goes. You know what I mean? And like I said, if it seems like everyone's having a good time, then yeah, I'll probably think that's hot.
Yeah.
A lot of the just kind of standard straight porn is not that interesting. Probably because it's just, made for straight men and it's just like I'm not the intended audience.
Yeah, it's shot from almost kind of like the male point of view, so it's
yeah,
going to be focused on the woman.
So it's just kind of, well, no, I mean, I like that, but in a lot of ways too, it seems like it's mostly kind of focused on just him like pounding her and, like the dude just like looking at her from the back and stuff like that, and I don't necessarily like that as much. So... so there's that. But like I said, I've seen ones like that I liked.
More than half the time, the girl's just fucking getting a paycheck.
That's what I'm saying. Just, like a lot of times, they're just like, ooh, yeah.
There's no real chemistry there.
Yeah, man.
All right, so what else we got on the list?
Well, I don't know.
What time is it?
I need another drink, probably. It's early. It's only like 9:30.
Yeah. No, it's 9:41. It's quarter to 10.
Well,
almost quarter to 10.
Close enough. Zach said he sent you a funny meme relevant to the porn talk.
I saw it, yeah.
Oh, you going to show it to me?
Yeah, it was a crab kicking out all the porn, and it says kicking out all the LGBT porn.
Oh.
And the last one, he says, no, except you can stay. And it was lesbian porn.
You can stay. I'll watch any. So, like I said, other than standard straight porn, I'll watch standard straight porn too. But I tend to like other things better. Like I said, I like lesbian porn. I like trans. I like gay porn. In a certain mood, I kind of like gangbang kind of porn because we kind of are amused by these ones where it's like, hey, I took my wife to the glory hole. You know what I mean? Like those kind of where they're pretending that that she's in there just like sucking all these strangers off and stuff. It's like I kind of like those too because those are kind of entertaining. There was one series that Tom was showing me. I don't know if it was a series, but I don't remember what her fucking name was. But they go to this sex shop. I think it's in Florida, but they had the sign blurred out. Thank you. Because I was trying to figure out where it was. I'm like, is that here? I was like, it's not like, there's a couple of sex shops around here that I know, but it wasn't that because I know what that looks like, but it wasn't that one. But it might be one that I don't know about. But then she would go in there and they would do like, and she'd like walk out in the parking lot naked and all this other kind of stuff. And like dudes would be walking and be like, what the fuck is going on? Like that was pretty funny. Like I didn't think she was hot or anything like that, but the situation around it was like entertaining. Yeah, Phantom says glory hole scenes and massage parlor scenes are great shit, man. Yeah, like there was a long time ago this one that was like, it wasn't even like super sexual. It was just like these two Asian girls giving a white girl a massage. And there was just something like really like very, very arousing about that. And I can't even explain like why it was. We also got into lactation porn for a little while. So we haven't watched any of that in a while, but
yeah.
Which never even occurred to me that I would like that, but I was watching it, I was like, but that's kind of hot.
Yeah, like the Japanese stuff was the best stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what's funny is that you kind of go through these little phases, these little cycles, kind of be into something for a while, and then you forget it, and then something else comes.
Yeah.
And it's actually the same thing happens in that industry. There are things that go wild for a while, and then then it goes away, and then something else comes back.
Yeah, I think it's just like everything else. Is
Yeah.
things like come into fashion and go out of fashion.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, lately we've been watching some of the like glory hole videos and
Yeah, glory hole. It's in fashion right now.
that kind of stuff. Like I'm watching
gangbang
those.
in fashion.
Yeah.
Bonnie Blue just did that 1,057 man gangbang.
No.
Now she says she's pregnant, and fucking they're going and
with
the
1,000 babies.
and the time matched up. You know what I mean? Fucking and the time matched up, so people were like. And she's supposedly married. I don't think, but most people say no. They're getting a divorce. They've been separated for a long time. But then they're making all these memes about Maury Povich and the fucking paternity test.
Yeah.
And shit.
You are not the father.
But here's the thing. I don't think she's pregnant.
No, probably not.
She's posted some pictures. You know what I mean? But you can Photoshop anything.
Well, yeah, of course.
And I don't think she's pregnant. I think it's all a publicity stunt.
Yeah,
because
I mean,
that's what she does.
And it worked because we're talking about it right now.
Yep.
So.
I guarantee you, some chick in that industry got knocked up during, and she thought it was from a 1,000 man fucking gangbang. She's not gonna keep that baby. She would terminate that.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah. What are you gonna tell the kid? Your father was some dude out of a fucking 1,000 man gangbang. I don't know who he was.
Could have been any one of them.
Yeah, and it got it on video to prove it. And that kind of shit. Fucking. No, she's lying. She's just trying to stir up a bunch of fucking controversy. It'll come out that she fucking. Well, I didn't say. I lost the baby. It's gonna be something like that. She's gonna fucking spin it.
Well, that's the thing because porn is so ubiquitous nowadays, and it's so extreme. You really got to come up with something.
That's what she did.
Crazy.
Yeah, I think
to
she
get
was
anybody
Australian.
to pay
She's
attention.
either Australian or British. I don't remember. I think I don't remember where she's from, but that's what she does. She's always doing like fucking outrageous stuff.
Which, like I said, I guess it works because people talk about it. So
yeah, and they go on her OnlyFans. She's not studio. She's OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's a millionaire.
We'll see.
So
exactly. So it works.
Yeah, she's a millionaire.
So it works.
You don't realize it's fucking money, man.
But you really have to, like I said, there's so much of it out there. Like the market is so saturated that you really have to come up with something egregious, like to even get noticed. I mean, either that or you can go the other way of going like super, super niche. I feel like that's the only other way to do it. Because if you're just doing like standard kind of shit like everyone else is doing, like no one's gonna notice because there's just so much of it out there.
Well, they go for search and you're lost. You're just buried in numbers.
Which I don't know. Like I said, I don't really have a problem with it.
Do you know what? You know what? Quinn said the dude that fucking does the porn.
What do you say?
He said what was hot now. This is the last time I talked to him. It was probably about fucking 4 or 5 weeks ago. Maybe no, not that long. About 3 weeks ago. He said, what we're doing now is hand job videos. And I was like, really? He goes, oh man, yeah, that's like coming into style.
That's like a big thing now?
And it's like, yeah. He goes, yeah, and you got to do it where she looks real uninterested, like she's watching TV.
Huh.
But, I was like,
I
really?
wonder what that's about.
Yeah. She goes,
it seems so simple.
Yeah.
Maybe the shit has gotten so crazy that everybody's just going back to like the classics. You know what I mean?
So he was making a series of fucking videos with his wife and shit where she's not jerking him, jerking another dude. He doesn't appear on camera. He's not camera worthy of it. And she'd be like doing it at the dinner table, fucking while she's eating breakfast, watching TV, that kind of shit, and just ignoring what's happening, like she's not doing it. And back dudes fucking going crazy, shit like that.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
He gave some other examples, but I forgot what they were.
First, she's just like, all right, I guess.
Yeah, like she's totally uninterested, like she's just doing it because she has to, type of deal.
Yeah, I wonder what that's about. I wonder why that's like a big thing now suddenly. You're just like watching a movie or something.
Well, they're constantly
and you just like reach over there.
That dude's a scientist, man. He knows a lot of people, the local people around here. Fucking people that are running their own little studios. And they said they were having success with it, so he went that way too. Got into that game.
Yeah.
And he said that, that those videos did so.
Huh.
Yeah, because you got to tag them the right way. But he said you had to tag them the right way, but I didn't ask him what the tags were. Because dudes that are looking for that and have a name for it. I don't know what it is.
Right. Tammy said, just another chore that needs to be done.
Exactly.
Yeah, I guess that's how they're going to see it.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a submissive thing. Not submissive, what is it? Like a dismissive thing.
Right.
Like, oh, well. Yeah.
All right, whatever. Take your pants off.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, he desperately needs it. And he's
just on the phone.
She's on the phone. Yeah, talking to somebody else. And
playing words with friends
kind
or some shit.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing for a while. Fucking dude or chick blowing some fucking dude. Usually it's a black dude. She's white. She's black. And the phone rings, and she goes, "Oh, it's my husband." And then she talks to her husband on the phone while she's blowing the other guy in between stuff, and just talks about fucking regular. There's nobody on the other line.
Like,
but
yeah, you're gonna pick some bread up on the way home. Yeah. Sorry, let me go over here.
Or whoever's on the other line works for the studio. And just talking to her. I love you too, baby. And all kind of, just fucking, she's like she's cheating on him.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
Well, I do kind of feel like, I mean, cheating porn, cuck porn. That's like a huge market.
Yeah, it's huge. It's really a style right now.
That's very, very common.
Yeah.
Very common. I feel like that's been common for a long time, though. I mean, maybe it's having.
Quinn said it was in style. It's been in style for a couple years.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like it's been a while.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing that stuff.
They make that too.
Yeah.
They make that too. Yeah.
They do like that kind of cuck.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is that he doesn't ever fucking be the cuck.
Right.
He's filming it. He has another dude in there as the cuck, pretending that that's his wife.
Right. Okay.
It's actually the guy filming. It's his wife.
Yeah.
Some people are like, "How the fuck how could you do that with your wife?" I understand. I totally understand why. Not everybody is the same.
Yeah, like we talked about this before because I was just kind of like, I mean, it's like
some people don't take it personally at all.
Yeah, I guess not. It's just like a job.
Yeah,
I suppose. Like I said, I don't know if I could do it, but
no, you don't have to.
Yeah,
they kind of have to because that's their career.
Yeah,
that's all they do.
It would be weird. It would be really weird.
Yeah.
You know. I mean, I can see how some people, like, it doesn't bother them. You know?
I kind of asked him about it. He said, no, she likes having fun. She likes it. She's an info. She has fun making those videos. And she goes, but she's loyal, man. She's not going anywhere. It's just fun.
Right.
You know what I mean? She goes, and she's like, these dudes, it's their job. They do this.
Yeah.
The dudes that she's working with, it's just kind of like work for him too. He's like, okay, I got another appointment. Oh, I can't do that, man, because I got to store up. I got a big scene in 2 days, and I got to fucking store up some more fucking scene.
Yeah, like I said, it's just a job.
Yeah. Doing shit like that.
So it's not like...
I got to be able to bust a big load on that shot right there. On this next one.
Yeah, there's all kind of
There's all kinds of weird problems that they come through.
You have to think of.
And they know the dude they've worked with before. They hang out with him and shit, when they're not working. So it's not the same. You as the observer who's bought it or whatever and is just watching it, for you it might be like exhilarating or shocking or whatever. It's supposed to be that, as it was designed that way. It's not an accident. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, of course. They study the market just like everyone else does that's selling stuff.
The thing is, though, is that when they made it at the time, it was just like nothing to them. It's just a product that they're making.
Yeah.
And they might have fun making it, but not for the same reasons as it would be if you were actually doing it because you wanted to.
Right.
They might think it's fun because it's kind of deceptive. They're deceiving people.
Yeah.
Putting on a good show, like, oh, they'll think this is real. Watch this. You know what I mean? Or just shit like that. They're committing an illusion.
Yeah.
The whole thing's contrived. They were the shit was on a fucking calendar 4 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago. That kind of shit. They knew they were going to be there on that day. They knew exactly what was going to happen.
I feel like another thing, I don't know if it's trending anymore, but I feel like it was trending like maybe a couple years ago, was like stepmom porn.
Yeah.
Like stepmom
I saw a lot of that,
walks in on
There's a lot
stepson.
Of that. Yeah.
And then it's like, hey, want me to help you with that? Like, I feel like there was a lot of that.
For a while, a lot of the platforms would move those videos like to the front to suggest them because they were popular.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I remember seeing a lot of those.
They go through... The scene kind of goes through these weird cycles of different kinks and shit. And I think it was basically incest porn.
Yeah.
But they can't quite get away with that.
Well, yeah, and obviously these people are not really related in real life. They're just pretending.
Yeah.
to be
and
related.
a lot of it's talk. It's more talking than it is action a lot of times.
Yeah, because I think people like the scenario.
Yeah.
We're like thinking of it.
Yeah, dudes like vocalization. That was like in that other thing that I was talking about. I saw that show about the straight guys having fucking sex with gay dudes.
Oh yeah.
What? What the fuck are you talking about?
But then when he watched the video, he's like,
okay.
I
I know what he's talking about.
I see what you're talking about.
He's the guy, the psychologist that was the guest on this show, who was talking about this phenomenon. He himself was gay. A little short, kind of what you call a bear, a little heavy set dude. Fucking, I think he had a beard and shit. And he was just a kind of friendly, kind of no nonsense guy. And I can't remember exactly what I was going to say. What we were talking about? He said that had something to do with. He said some straight guys want to get fucked, like kind of like violently, with a lot of force and a lot of fucking verbalization. They're not into guys though, and which is kind of I'm trying to imagine the mindset of these dudes. The dude is straight. He doesn't want a relationship with a dude, but he wants to be kind of like abused by a dude.
Yeah.
Because it's like he's getting a weird fetish, like a big mental shock out of kind of being forced to do something he doesn't want to do.
Yeah. I kind of feel like that's a pretty common thing of like sexual fantasies.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's not something that a lot of people would like in real life.
Yeah.
But in a fantasy context, a lot of people like the idea of that.
Yeah. So it's basically what it is. It's a dude with a fucking gay rape fantasy, basically.
Mm.
Which that's some wild when you're thinking about it. And you're like, but wouldn't that make him gay?
Nah.
And I would say yeah, but the psychologist would go no. Not really, because he's not interested in a relationship with the dudes. He doesn't even care what the dude looks like. He just wants this fucking thing to happen.
He just likes that situation.
Yeah, and then he's gonna go back to his girlfriend and shit. He's only attracted to women. And this gay dude has known dudes like this because they've been like clients.
Because he was like a psychologist or something.
And I had never heard of that. But when he described it that way, I could kind of see that, some dude probably would have a real kink about being forced to do something that he doesn't want to do. If he wanted to do it, it wouldn't have given him the jolt.
Yeah.
Know what I mean? I don't know. Fucking Zach, we got gay guys in here. They can fucking tell you about it. But the guy who was running the show was he was kind of like astounded too. He was from the porn industry, and he says, "Well, what a lot of women don't know is that sex between gay men can be very physically rough." And there's a lot more vocalization and talking than it is between straight people. And I'm going to fucking say yeah to that. Because I got a pretty high body count with women. Most of them get real meek, don't say much. They kind of go internally into their world when you're having sex with them. That became kind of standard for me. But I never liked that. What I liked is I liked a real vocal woman who said all kinds of crazy shit to me during it. And maybe only 15% of them did that. And they stand out. Jen does it. I'm going to go to the restaurant. But that kind of always stood out. And I think it's because guys react to what's being said almost like it's a visual input. It's almost because you're showing him images in your head.
Yeah, you're like...
You're making images go into his head.
You're telling him a story and he's like picturing it.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, I get it. But like I said, I kind of get to... I'm not, naturally, I'm not, like, a big talker. I mean, despite what this show would say. But, I mean, normally it's like I don't usually, like, talk all that much. But I think a lot of women in a sexual context, like, they go inward because they're kind of, like, concentrating on their own thing. They might be coming up with their own fantasies or their own kind of whatever, like, trying to get off like everyone else is. But I think, like, dudes are a lot more, they want you to kind of, like... I don't know. I don't want to say, like, entertain them or something like that. But they want you to, like, talk to them, like, talk them through it and stuff like that. So, I kind of started. I got more into doing that kind of stuff because I was kind of quiet at first, but you know what I mean. Yeah, Tammy said like Tom's kink about getting pegged. One day, no, I'm just like I said, I would never. If he, because he said to me like, yeah, no, that's not happening. It's like it's not really like. I'd tease him about it, but it's not really all that important. But it is kind of funny to like tease him about it because he's just like, no, I think he thinks I might do it. Like when he's not like looking, like when he's sleeping, which I would never do anything like that. But I kind of feel like he's like got to sleep with one eye open because you never know when I might decide. You know what I mean? Like I said, if somebody says they don't like something, nothing that I, no sexual fantasy that I have is that important that I'd be like, oh, well, I have to go find somebody else to do this. Because I think, like, some people, their sexual fantasies or fetishes or whatever you want to call them are so important to them that it's like if they're with somebody that won't do that, they're like, well, no, I have to go find somebody that'll do that.
Yeah. I
don't have anything that's that important.
That's important to that specific.
Like, I have shit that I like.
Depends on what it is you're talking about. You're talking about regular shit? Like, oh, you don't give head, so I ain't
well, no. That's not even, I don't even consider that. I mean, that's like a standard.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like giving head, as long as it's reciprocated, like both ways, it's just kind of, I feel like that's a standard thing.
What you're talking about is you got some dude that says, oh, no, if you don't pee in a bowl and fucking drink it, then I ain't gonna be...
Yeah, it's like, I'm talking about like shit that's not standard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of odd. A lot of the fetishes seem kind of contrived too. It's like something that they saw that they like, so they want to do it again, and they want to see it again.
Like I said, I like particular.
There's all kinds of cool shit, that I've seen. I think it's kind of hot, but I'm not driven to do it.
That's kind of the same thing too. It's like sometimes I see stuff, but it's like, I don't know if I wouldn't want to do that in real life because it probably wouldn't be much fun in real life.
I just thought it was
but it's hot watching somebody else
do it. Yeah.
Because it's like, if I don't have to do it, it's like it seems a lot better like that. But it's like I said, there's shit that I like, but there's nothing that I like so much that I'm like, oh, well, we have to do this, even though if you didn't want to do it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about like...
Tammy says this like my...
Well, that's what got me on the subject, because...
Like my fetish of being pegged?
We were like teasing
have
about...
a fucking fetish about being pegged. That's Jen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what I was talking about. It's like, I like the idea of that, but I don't like it so much.
Yeah, right.
But I don't like it so much that I'd be like, oh, I have to go find somebody that'll let me do that. I don't care that much about it. Like, it's hot to think about, but... Like I said, I'm not gonna... Like, if you don't want to do it, I would never do it. It's not that big a deal. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't care that much about it. But it's just funny to, like, tease you about it, because I know you're like, that you don't want to do it. So it's like, it's kind of funny to, like, tease you about it. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Guitar Girl says she walked in on her stepmom. She remembered.
I know. I saw that earlier. I was going to address that. I was like... I was trying to think, did I ever... I don't think I ever walked in on any family members.
I walked in on my stepdad just begging the hell out of my mom.
Oh, that's right. You told me that story.
Yeah, a long time ago.
You told me that. No. You didn't tell me that story.
About 16.
You told me about the blowjob incident.
Which one?
Which one?
I got a lot of blowjob. Wait, which blowjob incident?
Your dad. Wasn't it your dad?
Oh,
and the neighbor lady or something?
No, it was my mom's friend.
Oh, your mom's friend. That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, that's not quite the same thing.
That's what I said. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant, but then I was like, no. Okay.
No, when I was in Brazil, just during the fucking middle of the daytime, I fucking went, Mom, where you at? Opened up the door and fucking my stepdad jumped off of her. And that was before they were married.
Oh, wow.
He got married later. But I was like, okay, it's all right. I didn't see nothing.
Sorry.
And my mom was like, oh, shit. But she's talking about my dad. I came home from fucking... This was back in the 70s. People were fucking more... This was out in California, too, at that time. I came home from school, fucking run up, throw up the door of school, and fucking saw... It was...
I've heard this story before.
I saw my dad and my mom's friend separate big as shit. For a second, I was like in 4th grade, 3rd grade. For a second, I'm like, did he have his dick in her mouth?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, of course. Looking back on it now, I was like, yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, they were like on the couch.
yeah.
I was like, didn't they know you were coming home from school, or
they were
did
probably
they
smoking pot?
Oh, so they didn't realize.
Yeah, they realized what time it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my mom's friend. But the thing is that I think they did that. I think they kind of fooled around on each other. Kind of regularly. They got divorced a few years later.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that story. When you came home from school. And
Yeah.
They were like, "What? We weren't."
Yeah, I can talk about it now. He's gone. He's dead. They broke up a long time ago.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever walked in on anybody, or
yeah.
I'm pretty sure I never had anybody walk in on me.
Yeah.
I don't think. Did I?
Yeah.
I think I would have remembered.
Yeah,
it.
she was on the fucking couch blowing my dad. And fucking my dad was huge, man. That's where I got my shit. He was fucking bigger than me. We'd be fucking fishing together, and he'd fucking stand up and start fucking pissing out of the side of the boat, and he goes, "Damn, this water's cold." And I said, "Really?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's deep too." Don't you get it?
Yeah.
I started laughing. He's standing up on the side of the boat pissing.
Yeah, I get it.
He's saying his dick is
That his
down
dick's
cold
so big
water.
that it's hanging in the water.
I
get it.
Yeah,
I get it.
yeah. That's fucking funny.
I get it. Your dad was something else.
Hey, he's fucking crazy, man.
I only met him one time, but
yeah, and you saw him towards the end.
Yeah,
that's
and
not who
he
he
was like much older.
When he was young, he was pretty fucking wild. And he looked just like my granddad, and they all looked like me. I showed you pictures.
Yeah, I mean, y'all looked
look
very,
like,
very
yeah.
similar.
Yeah.
Your dad was like he was a little dude.
Yeah, he was shorter than me. He was fucking 5'4". And my granddad was only like 5'3".
Yeah.
But he was fucking had
that
a shit
Bolivar?
Yeah, Bolivar, yeah. Bolivar. Ross, yeah. But he had tons of girlfriends. He had children out of wedlock and shit, and that was like back in the day.
Yeah.
So he was kind of a legend.
See, that's why I don't believe this bullshit about like dudes that are like, "Oh, I'm short, I'll never have a girlfriend." I'm like,
no, I could talk about that shit all day long, man. I'm a short dude. I'm only 5'6", and it made it easier in certain ways. Okay, height is no fucking problem. The secret is to know who to choose. That's a lot of it. Tall women are fucking in a situation worse than fucking short guys.
yeah, way worse.
If I was single and saw a tall woman who was good looking, I'd go up and just hang out with her, and fucking I could score it. Yeah. It's because they don't have anything going on. Nobody's, and they know that fucking size can be a kind of a hindrance. You know what I mean? And you're kind of like in the same boat.
Yeah.
You know, and they're actually in a worse boat.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's harder for really tall women.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're not really as sensitive to it. The ones that are worried about height, they're little short girls, which doesn't make any sense to me. That bitch is fucking 4'10", and she's worried. You got to be 6 feet tall. Well, that's what she's saying on her Tinder profile. See, if you're on those dating apps, and that's what these young guys are talking about, these fucking dating apps.
But you can't really take.
We came from a time when you had to have fucking face game. You had to be able to fucking do things face to face. Women will fucking say anything. Oh, you got to make fucking $500,000 a year. Are you crazy? Oh, dude, you got to be 6'6". Like it's like less than 0.5% of the population, you know. Oh, you got. They don't believe what women says. They fucking say anything. That same woman that says gives all that requirements. You have to be 6'6", and you got to be this and that. We'll see a dude who doesn't fit that description at all, and she'll go, "Oh yeah, he's cute." And that dude's fucking 5'6".
Well, like I said, I kind of feel like a lot of women don't. When you're on a dating app, which I don't use those, obviously.
They think it's going to magically
and
call
I didn't
a dude
even
like
when I was single.
Yeah.
Well, and the other thing, too, is that I kind of feel like a lot of women are just like, well, this is kind of what you're supposed to put.
Right. Yeah.
Because they can't really think of any.
Yeah,
because they can't really think of anything.
Yeah, I think.
Because I think a lot of, I mean, I'm not speaking for all women, obviously, but I think like a lot of women are like me, where you don't really have like a type. It's like you just kind of know it when you see it.
Yeah.
So when you're in an environment like on an app where you're not seeing people in person and there's just like, you know, words and a picture on a screen, you're trying to like the only way that you can think of to like sift through people. It's like, how can I sift through people so I don't get a bunch of losers?
Yeah, that's what they're doing,
and that's kind of the only way to do that.
But what they don't realize is that there's a lot more guys that they're going to find acceptable and cute, and they're not in the category that they're talking about.
Yeah,
they don't fit the. Okay. I was watching that same program. I think it's called Offbeat. One word. I think that was the name of that show.
Yeah, I remember. Oh, Guitar Girl's asking us where we live in Florida. Yeah, we live in Eustis,
right outside Orlando.
Eustis, Florida.
Yeah,
about 25 miles outside of Orlando.
Yeah, the good part of fucking Florida. We're in the best.
I mean, it's kind of rural. We live like
that's good though
with the farms and stuff.
Yeah, we have big houses, farm. We live on a golf course.
But we're only about 25, 30 miles from downtown Orlando, though.
Yeah. Yeah, everything's within short driving.
About an hour from Disney.
Yeah. So, what was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say, I was watching that program, and they had a couple porn stars on there, and they had a fucking high-end professional escort who was European. And they were asking them all about dicks. And fucking, the name of the show, I believe, was something like, we know more about your dick than you do. That kind of shit. I think it was the name of the show. These girls talk about dicks all fucking day long. I was impressed, but about what the best size, what's too big, what's too small, they go through all that. The general consensus is that the perfect everyday dick, the dick that they could live with every fucking day and enjoy.
Your everyday dick.
The everyday dick, they would fuck every day, and it looks good when it's fucking, and they see it, you know what I mean, fucking hanging out dude's pants, or is between 6 and 7. That's what they're looking for, 6, 7. That's a little bit above average.
That seems legit.
Yeah, they said that's really. And then they say once you start getting outside 7, bigger than that, it says the more you go, the more it becomes what they were calling a vacation dick.
Yeah.
It's like maybe every once in a while, fucking for the thrill, you might want that. And then another one of the girls said, like, yeah, but like every day that gets fucking, it's too much. And the other one says, and he goes, yeah, once you start talking about fucking 12 and shit, that's like anal only.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Yeah, because they say it's just too fucking...
Facing that every day.
Yeah, it's too tiring. And they talk about Dredd, who he's about 13 inches long. He's in the porn industry. They knew him. Some of them worked with him. And they said if it wasn't for porn, Dredd would probably never get laid. Because women run from one that big. They're like, whoa, whoa, whoa.
They're like,
the only ones that are in it are like pros.
Looks like I'm not going to be able to walk for a few days after that.
Race is kind of a factor. An ethnic group is a factor in size. Fucking white guys and black guys are fucking pretty well off. And black guys fucking probably on average a little bit bigger. But the biggest one in the world is a fucking British guy. And they had him on there as a guest on another part. They talked about him too. And he was bigger than Dredd. He was like 14 inches. And you looked at this dude. If you were to see this dude, you would never suspect.
He just looks like a regular ass dude.
Regular dumpy dude. He's like a 4. If you saw him, he'd be totally fucking invisible. Chubby, generic, nondescript white dude. And he fucking says it's a curse. He says it's hard for him to hook up. And when he pulls that out, they're like, oh no. He said like 65% of it. But he says there were also a small segment of women that just fucking would go crazy.
That are super into it.
Just crazy for it. Yeah, like size queen types. But he said that a lot of those weren't so much, were crazy about not so much the intercourse part as they just wanted to do fucking worship and like hand jobs and shit. They just loved it.
Yeah, I can see that.
That they were more into that.
Because like I said, over a certain size, it's just going to be painful.
Could do with it.
It's going to be painful.
Okay, now
we got a super chat.
Okay.
From the Shaby, who is Papa 77's wife.
Okay, yeah.
Really enjoying your show today. Thank you so much.
You.
Thank you very much. And she also joined our membership.
Appreciate it.
Welcome to Flashbulbs.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Now,
we love that you're here.
That's the background I wanted to establish.
He's laying the foundation.
Okay, because that was just they want to establish that. One of those girls said that fucking. They said what they were like. What were your requirements? And she says, well, you know, you got to be about 6, 7 inches, you know. And he goes, but you know what? I say that, but it's not true, really. She said, you know, I had a boyfriend. He was from Vietnam, and he was nowhere near that. He was small. She says, but I love the shit out of him, and he was hot as fuck. And
yeah.
She was like, I can't explain it. She's like, it's just the way he was. So it was getting back to what we were saying earlier. A lot of this stuff about how tall you have to be and how much money. That's not an accurate predictor of what the woman's actually going to bite. when the time
No,
comes,
of
when the
course
hook's in the water. This chick saw this dude and she fucking bit and fucking liked the dude, and turned out he had a little dick and she didn't care. She just kept rolling with it.
Because she liked who it was attached to.
Right. So women are pretty flexible.
Yeah, big time.
If they like you, you get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if you have, like, some really good qualities about you, like, honestly, your physical attributes start to matter less and less. Yeah. So I kind of feel like a lot of dudes, like, incel-type dudes that are always, like, constantly whining about stuff, they're usually whining about just, like, statistical kind of shit, which doesn't really mean all that much, because a lot of those statistics are taken from dating apps and all this other kind of stuff, which, like I said, are not... on the ground, they don't really mean all that much. Yeah. Like I said, you're just trying to kind of... You're like, I don't know, I'm on this fucking dating app. Who the fuck am I looking for? I don't know. Yeah. So it's like, you're just kind of trying to put... It's like, here's my ideal person. Like I said, if you asked me what my ideal person was, I mean, if I even had that, which I don't, because, it's just not really a thing. Like, what would I put? I don't know what I would put. Yeah. If I had to go on a dating app nowadays and said, hey, like, who are you looking for? I don't fucking know. I don't know any of these people. You know what I mean?
What you would do is you would put the specifications somewhere in the middle so you could get as much exposure as possible, so you could find one that you thought looked good and talked well. If I was on a dating app, when they would ask me my height, I'd say I was fucking 6'2".
Would you really?
Oh, yeah, I'd lie. So they could see my profile.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? Just so they see the profile.
I would never.
Oh, I'd say I'm 6'2". They say, how much money you make? I say I make $5 million a year.
So now we know.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to go check some dating apps and see if there's some random motherfucker on there saying that he makes $5 million.
I'm sure there are. Some guys, I'm sure some of the guys will say, fuck it, I'm
And then the picture of it is you.
Yeah, just, And he's like, gotcha. Like, yeah.
He's like, just kidding.
Yeah.
I would never, I don't know. I would never, like, lie on a dating site just because I think it's a waste of time. But
I wouldn't even fuck with them.
I wouldn't either, honestly. I told Tom the other day, I said, God forbid, like, something happened to you. I think I would probably just be like, nah, fuck it. I'll just be by myself. I'll just be a cat lady.
Get you a girlfriend.
Or date girls. Because that's good, too. So it's just kind of, you know what I mean?
As women get older in age, the pickings become slimmer.
Well, and plus you get to a point where it's like you don't want to deal with all the bullshit too. Like, and it's just kind of like, oh my god, I have to go through all this shit again. No thanks.
It's simple mathematics. The older a woman gets, the more the age appropriate guys for her are either dead, married, taken, or they're fucking super out of shape and they're unattractive.
And there's some reason why they've been single for such a long time.
Right. Yeah. I'm about 56 now. 56, right?
Yeah.
My physical specifications are in the top 0.5 percentile of men of my age. 0.5% with my body fat index. And it's not biologically possible. I'm fucking enhanced by synthetic hormones. But most dudes won't do it. They don't have what it takes to do it. They don't have the willpower to train or the discipline. They don't have the fucking ego. You have to have fucking extremely high standards for yourself. When I wasn't in training, Jen met me. I was not really in training. I did hard physical labor. I was working at a fucking horse farm at that time. But I always felt I was cheating myself because I was raised in a military academy and military school and fucking security contractor doing weird shit. So I was always training for something, and or being trained for something. And then once I started after my fucking divorce and fucking started getting back doing more civilian type shit after a fucking time that I was working in Louisiana, I kind of felt like I was cheating myself, like I was atrophying, and I was. I don't feel right unless I'm progressing forward. And a dude cannot progress forward in his 50s without at least taking testosterone. You just don't make enough of it. So you got to start bolstering everything. I feel so much better now. And fucking the sex is a lot better.
Yeah.
Because my sex drive is like 2 or 3 teenagers.
Now you can keep up with me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because remember back in the day before you started playing it.
Yeah, I was like not even interested in shit.
Well, you were, but it's like you used to make jokes like to our friends and stuff. Man, I can't keep up with her, man. I'm gonna have to like hire a dude to like, you know what I mean? Because I've always had a super high sex drive. Well, so it's just you know,
sexual fantasy would kind of like go away a little bit, and the drive wasn't quite there, you know. Well, once I had my fucking blood chemistry taken and saw how low my testosterone, well, of course, you know, the thing that controls sex drives is all hormonal in men, you know, just way substandard. You know, my testosterone was like 145. That's fucking nothing.
Yeah, it was super low.
Yeah, that's nothing. A fucking average guy in his 50s is probably about 500, probably. A good fucking dude in his teenage years, 1,200, you know. Now that I can fucking access synthetic shit, half the time I'm like 3,000.
Yeah.
Effectively 3,000 nanograms per deciliter. But it's not all testosterone. It's little shit like nandrolone, 19-nort testosterone, which is synthetic versions of it. Improved versions of testosterone. So you just start fucking growing and shit. Fucking getting more fucking, yeah, you know, more V-taper and shit. And just don't fuck with trend.
We've said that before. That's our...
Y'all listen to me. Do not fuck with trenbolone.
Please don't ever take it.
It makes you a fucking psychopath.
For the sake of everyone around you.
Yeah.
Please do not do it.
Makes you a psychopath and you don't know it. You think you're
Which
fine.
is the worst.
Yeah.
Like, you think you're fine and you're having a great time, and meanwhile, everyone around you is like, oh
terrified.
My God,
yeah.
I'm gonna get murdered.
It's a perfect combat steroid. It's just like the shit that the fucking goblin took to turn into the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
You're lean, you're fast, you're fucking absolutely fearless, you're extremely hostile to fucking males. You're real simpy towards females, but you're real hostile towards males. And I would fight at the fucking drop of the hat. I'd beat dudes up in public and shit. Yeah. And you win, because it's just overwhelming force from early.
I mean, he just like went from nothing to like, I'm gonna go tear that dude's head off.
I'm gonna kill him.
Can we not? Let's not do that today, okay? Let's not do that.
Grabbing fucking 6 foot dudes by the throat and fucking bringing them around.
It was a whole thing.
They were all bad though. They deserved it. Grabbing her ass and shit. You're gonna get your fucking throat.
Well, yeah, I didn't feel bad about that.
Yeah.
Because that dude had that coming.
Yeah, and there's nothing like a normal guy will see it happen and then he'll judge it and weigh it. Well, should I do that? There's none of that when you're on trend. It's instant. You're not in control. Trend's in control. It's just instant attack. And it's instant 0 to 100 miles an hour, just instantly, bam! And you're not making any decisions, you're just doing it. And rage and sex become one thing. So you're not only you fighting this guy, you're almost becoming sexually aroused. You want to fuck him, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Possibly eat him. So you're becoming like almost like a fucking gay cannibal. That's how intense.
You're turning into Jeffrey Dahmer as well.
Yeah.
No one wants to be Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah. You want complete and utter destruction and
just do a public service announcement.
It's complete and utter domination of the enemy. This is what's going through your mind. Fucking, they talked about that shit on fucking Joe Rogan. Fucking, it says that fucking pro fighters fucking sneak it all the time, and a lot of those pro MMA fighters are on trend, and it just makes you fucking crazy.
Crazy person.
Yeah.
CB said, Jenny, would you become a cat lady? I probably would at some point. I love cats. You know what I mean? Cats are better than people in almost every respect. CB said, Tom, I thought you were in your 40s. Oh, well, I'll tell him that when he comes back. Yeah, Tammy says, why do you think as older ladies have to date age appropriately? Yeah, exactly. Like, you can score a younger one if you want to. But like I said, I kind of feel like at my age, I don't feel like an old person. Like, I'm 52. I'll be 53 later this year. But I don't feel like an old person. But the older I get, like, the less bullshit I can tolerate. So I kind of feel like, I don't know. Like I told Tom the other day, I said, God forbid, like, something happened to you. And I was, like, widowed or some shit like that. I was like, I don't even think I would bother. It just seems like so much work. It's like I have to find some other fucking dude and, like, train his dumbass or something. You know what I mean? It's just like, it seems like a lot of work. And honestly, once you get to a certain age, like Tom was saying, even if the dude's younger, it's just like, I don't know. I kind of feel like most of them probably would not be worth the effort. So I would probably just, I don't know, just have a good time all by myself or with my friends. You know what I mean? I don't need any of that. Like I said, I got vibrators, man. I got vibrators and dildos for days. I don't need any of that kind of stuff. DVD track, it says, I have to wait till Tom comes back.
What did he say?
CB said, Tom, I thought you were in your 40s. No, neither.
No,
Sorry.
I will be 60.
I think you will be. You will be 56 this year.
Yeah.
In July.
Yeah.
I will be 53 in September.
Yeah. I'm 56. I'm 5'6", 196 pounds, and 10% body fat at 56. I bench press about 320 pounds. I curl 155, and I can do like fucking 8 of them. So, and I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that in my 20s. No way. I could go back into my military career, find myself at 25, and kick the shit out of myself.
That would be super funny.
That'd be hilarious. I'd be humiliating myself. You fucking weakling. Die.
Go back,
death, bitch.
Go back in a time machine and like.
Why are you so weak?
Up.
Yeah.
Beat your own self up. That'd be fucking hysterical. Papa says September what? The 26th. 26th is my birthday. Papa says, great, Tom, thanks. Now I'm going to have to start low T treatment because my wife can hear you boast about your sex drive now.
Oh, yeah. You're cheating her. Fucking right.
Well, I told you before,
Yeah,
I've always had a very high sex drive, and honestly, it did not, because some people say, like, some women say, like, after menopause, like, it diminishes. It did not. It didn't really change all that much. No, she's just like any girl from my past in my teenage years. Other than she's more experienced, but I'm saying her sex drive is about like that. She's the same. I'm down. I'm DTF, like, pretty much. Yeah. Anytime. I can unleash the beast out of her too, you know. I can fucking encourage her to do some crazy shit. She'll do it. It's hot, you know. No, not real crazy, but you know, just I mean, like she's like a porn star. Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, and honestly, like I mean, we had sex a lot before, like before you were on test. Yeah. But then it kind of went down some. Yeah. But then after you went on test. Now it's like pretty much. I could do it every day. I could do it 2 or 3 times a day. Yeah. But 2 times, sometimes, once usually. Now there's times where sometimes I won't be feeling well, and like, you know, I'll have fucking drug problems or something. You know what I mean? Because fucking sometimes, you know, you're taking different things and you're moving from one compound into a new one. You kind of feel weird. Other times you'll start something new and maybe the levels are pretty high, and all of a sudden you just like a werewolf, you know, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you. You know, it's just, you know, just you never really can't tell. But mostly at least once a day. Pretty much. I mean, mostly, yeah. Even sometimes, like, because I usually have to get up early for work, like earlier than he does. I actually don't have to get up if I don't want to. Yeah, he doesn't have to get up. He's retired. You're right. But then, like, if I get up and he's still sleeping, like, a lot of times, like, he'll come in the office later and be like, hey, she'd be working, and I'm like, okay, that's it. He's like, what you doing? I'm like, nothing. Yeah. Or, like, nothing important. Yeah, okay, here we go. I'll throw all over this place. You know what I mean? Yeah. But this morning, I actually woke up early. We both woke up really early. Jen's training, too, you know, fucking, since some of those videos we made, she looked good in the last one that we made. She looked good in all of them, but she looked a lot better in the last one because she started training. But she's like fucking 3 times that now. We're going to wait. And then we're going to make another video. And she looks great. My legs look a lot better. Her legs are fucking gorgeous. Yeah. And I just got that big fucking $600 fucking squat machine in there. So she's doing fucking heavy squats. I like the squat machine. Doing like 220. Squatting like 220. Which that's a lot for her. Wasn't it about 220? I don't remember how much weight you put on. It was a 45, a 45, a 35, and a 35. So that's... 90 plus 30 plus 70 plus 70, so 160. 160, okay, 160. I think. Yeah, around if I mathed correctly. Around there, but you can do like 10 of them. About usually. Yeah. Through the set, right? Around 10, 6 maybe. No, I can do more than that. More than that? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So, and the squat machine focuses it all right on your fucking ass.
and the bottom of your thighs.
Yeah, which is good. That's
Yeah,
what we're trying to.
Right.
That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Gallon Fox says young men think about sex 19 times a day.
Yeah.
I think about sex constantly. Like, that's not even an exaggeration. Like, it is literally, like, always in the back of my mind all the time. All the time. And I don't know what's wrong with me, but...
And you've always been like that, huh?
I've always been like that.
Okay.
As long as I can remember.
Yeah.
As long as I can remember. So, that's just kind of how I roll. I don't really... I don't know what that's about.
Yeah.
But... Maybe I'm part dude. Maybe I am a dude. Maybe all of these weird incel commenters are correct.
No, you're not a dude.
No, I know I'm not a dude. I've never been a dude.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to be a dude.
Got pictures to prove it.
But that in that regard, maybe I am kind of dude-like because I do think about sex.
Jen's not. She's not super femmy and girly. She was a tomboy.
Yeah.
She liked horror movies and shit like that. And then when I met her in the goth scene, she was into some goth fashion, but she was in a bad marriage. It was starting to fall apart. But once we started hanging out together, fucking, got her new wardrobes and shit. So, when she fucking looks fucking outstanding when she's going out. Man, that day that one fucking chick tried to put me on blast, fucking...
We should probably tell that story again.
We already did tell that story.
I know, but it's been long enough that I think people probably don't remember.
But it was a real super hardcore, like, I don't know her, but I know the people that do know her. And she's super hardcore femcel, all right? She's like a feminist activist and like femcel. She can't get a boyfriend. Middle age. Just average.
We thought we saw her.
Yeah, but it wasn't her.
Last Friday.
Right.
Like, we were sitting at the bar, and Tom's like, oh my God, is that bitch that messaged me? And then, because I was like, don't look at me. I don't even know what she looks like.
Yeah.
So we asked our friend Tara, who knows her, and she's like, no, that's not her. But she's like, it looks like her, so I can see why you thought that, but that's not her.
She went on Facebook, try to throw a fit, try to get my attention. That could be the only explanation. She said that when I was at the club, that I ran my fingers through her hair and was trying to talk to her or something. Then she yelled at me and ran out. That never happened.
No, that did not happen.
That never happened at all. I didn't remember even seeing her there. When I got the message from her, motherfucker, this and that, you better stay away from me type of deal.
We were like, what?
I was like, who the fuck are you?
Who are you?
Yeah. I realized this.
It was so weird.
Yeah.
It was so weird.
I realized that this was a chick that I talked to maybe about 2 years ago.
It was 2 years ago
about a job at another club that she worked at.
Yeah.
I had forgotten all about talking to her. And she was complaining, he only talks about himself, and that's what she was telling other people. I'm like, well, yeah, we were talking about other things, and I'm not dating you. We're not on a fucking date. What do I want to talk about? What am I going to ask you about you for? I was trying to get a job at the fucking club.
Yeah, he was asking about setting up an event at Mannequins.
Setting up a club event, right?
And she worked there,
right? And she didn't get enough attention, I guess. Well, that night I hadn't seen her in fucking years. I didn't see her then.
I didn't.
Jen was with me, and she was looking fantastic, wearing this fucking dress that was slit up the sides and had all these straps on top, and fucking high boots. She was looking fucking outstanding. I think you even had that wig on, didn't you?
I think I might have, yeah.
Yeah, makeup was done and everything. And I think what she did is she just saw her and fucking, she started raging out on me because I think she had a crush on me. But I didn't even know her. So she
That's
must
what
have
was
been
so weird about it.
Yeah.
It's like literally, we went out Saturday night. Then this was probably I think it was like 3 weeks ago. Something like that. 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, something like that. We went out on Saturday night for the 80s night, which is always super fun. We always have a super fun time. We had a good time. Nothing bad happened. No arguments, no weirdness, no nothing. It was just like a normal night. Just there hanging out with our friends, talking to our friends, dancing, blah, blah, blah. Nothing weird happened.
Yeah.
Sunday night, he gets a message out of the blue on Instagram. I think it was on Instagram. And the first thing she said was, if you want to talk to me, talk to my face.
Don't touch me.
Don't touch me or something like that. And he's like, who is this?
Yeah. I knew who it was.
Who are you?
Right.
oh, you know who I am. And he's like, I don't.
No, I don't know
though.
who you are. Right,
like, I don't know who you are.
She thinks I know her, and I didn't know her.
And then, like, the more he was thinking about it, like, he's looking at her name and stuff like that. It's like, he's like, maybe that's that chick that used to bartend at Mannequins. He's like, maybe. I'm not really sure.
She got fired for being fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's like, I don't really remember her that well. He's like, I remember talking to her. He's like, it was a long time ago about, he was like, I was going to set up that event, like, at Mannequins, and somebody said to, like, talk to her about it or whatever. Yeah. And then he's like, so I literally had like 1 or 2 discussions with her about that.
Yeah, and then I commented on a video that she posted of her riding a bicycle.
Because she said she was trying to lose weight or something.
Yeah, and that was about a couple weeks later.
Yeah, and then he's like, this was right around the time we went to go see Clan of Zymox. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to look up when that was. I want to see how long ago this was. And that was almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, she remembered everything I told her, everything that I said. I didn't even remember her at all.
And she wrote this big, long thing, like, on her Facebook. We didn't see it because he's blocked for some reason. Because she's like, I thought blocking you was going to be... He's like, I didn't even know...
I didn't know you blocked it.
That you blocked me. Like, who the fuck? What is going on?
Yeah.
Like, she must have this whole weird situation in her mind. Like...
Well, Tara said that she's a fucking Superman-hating femcel who can't get a man. So she's like Elliot Rodgers of fucking women.
Like a female.
Yeah, a female Elliot Rodgers.
Well, yeah. So then I was just kind of like,
I didn't know who she was.
And then she posted on Facebook. Like, I guess she thought we wouldn't see it because but Tara screenshotted it.
Yeah, and sent it to her.
And sent it to us.
Yeah, and then she came back and I just posted. I couldn't contact her directly because she blocked me after she sent me those messages. So I just put it on my fucking wall. Oh, okay, I know who you are now. I said, yeah, if you had a problem with anything I did or said, you should have brought it up then. So I at least know what the problem was and who you are.
Because she said...
She comes back a fucking few hours later and she goes, okay, yeah, you got a lot of friends and everything, I got friends too. And you're stopped making all this drama for me. And I wasn't making any drama for her. So I think what had happened was...
He's making drama.
She was making drama and people said, hey, you better not fuck with that dude, man. You don't know that guy.
Bitch, we know everybody.
Just because you being a woman isn't going to save you from getting an ass beaten, because I'll fucking beat or kill a woman as fast as I would a man.
Well, the thing about
I'm an ex-soldier. I don't give a shit.
Not just that.
I don't discriminate.
Not just that. But here's the thing. She barely goes out.
Yeah, she never goes out. Yeah.
We go out all the time. We know everybody. We know the dudes that own the clubs. We know all of these people. So if somebody was causing trouble, we could very easily get them banned.
Yeah, that's part of what I think happened.
And I kind of feel like that's probably...
He's going to get you banned from all these clubs.
Maybe if there was like mutual friends, they probably told her, it's like, hey, like, you should probably not...
Yeah, I could get her banned from all the clubs.
I mean, not that she ever shows up anyway, I don't think. Like I said, I don't know her.
Thing is, I'm not petty. I'm not a bitch ass. I wouldn't ban her. I'd let her show up. Just don't fucking talk to me. Don't talk about me.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, because at first... When she sent the first message, like on Instagram, we were trying to figure out who she was, and he's like, maybe that's that chick from Mannequins?
Yeah.
That I talked to like a long time ago. It's like, I don't recognize the name. I kind of recognize the name. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I couldn't really see the photo because it was so small.
Yeah, and he's like that. And the photo that was on there is not, it was like AI, so it didn't really look like her.
Yeah, I was like, who is it?
So he's like, I kind of recognize, he's like, maybe that's her. But he wasn't sure. And then, so the shit that she said in that first message... We were sitting there going, well, he's like, I don't remember touching anybody or saying hi to anybody that I didn't recognize.
Tara said, that shit didn't happen. You made that
He's like, but then when she posted on Facebook, which, like I said, she thought that on her wall, like, she thought that we wouldn't see it, but Tara screenshotted it and sent it to us.
They were all sending it to us, yeah.
She said that you ran your fingers through her hair.
Yeah.
And that she yelled at you.
Yeah.
And then was so upset that she stormed out the back door. There's like a patio and it goes out to the parking lot. And she left and she didn't tell her friends.
Yeah, none of that happened.
And we're sitting there going, that did not happen. Yeah. We were by the back door all night. Tara was too. Like several of our friends were.
Yeah.
Had someone yelled at you?
Yeah, nobody yelled at me. Only thing I can think of is that either she just made that up, or maybe I was walking to the bathroom and saw her and thought she looked familiar and from hey, how you doing? And just said
and just walked
by her. Yeah, that's the only thing.
Because you do that sometimes.
I do that all the time. I do that all the time to people that I recognize. I don't even know their names. I just recognize them.
You're like, hey,
how you doing?
Like, hey, I see you all the time.
Yeah, that's just a club thing you do, and that's only. And maybe that happened. And she's like, oh, he's making a move on me. And then she sees me come out of there, walk right by her, and go sit down next to you. And he's like, that bitch is cheating on me. I think she's like that. I think, she's an Elliot Rodgers.
I mean, maybe it's just it was just something like that, because like I said, I don't think that anything
here's the thing.
happened.
She didn't come up fucking to you and says your man's getting out of line.
No, she didn't.
That's what a real woman would do. Hey, you need to control your man. He's out of line. What are you doing?
Yeah, and like I said, she said on her Facebook post again that she thought we wouldn't see. It's like he does all this stuff and his oblivious wife doesn't know.
She knows everything about me.
And I'm just like, do you know us at all?
She don't know us yet.
I guess not.
We're always together.
Yeah, it's like, and that whole night,
yeah.
I think the only time, like, you went to the bathroom like once or twice,
no,
and you went to the bar.
I go more than that. But,
and you went to the bar a couple times, but other than that, you were right there.
Yeah, they came right back.
And all of our friends were right there.
And there was no disturbances that night.
Nothing happened.
If she'd made a disturbance, then fucking everybody would have known.
Like I said,
it'd been a talk of the town.
Because, like I said, the DJ booth is right there.
Yeah.
Like right by the door.
Yeah, and we know everybody there.
Like John or Rob or somebody else would have seen it.
We pretty much know everybody there, and
I said if somebody had yelled at you, you would have immediately come to me and said, "Some bitch yelled at me."
Yeah.
And you didn't do that.
Yeah, no.
It was totally normal.
Other people would have come up and said, "What was that all about?" Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, whoa, shit.
Yeah.
Because like I said, everybody we know was right there.
I was like, man, was I so drunk I did that?
But you weren't though.
No, didn't happen.
You weren't that drunk.
No,
you didn't
get that drunk.
You didn't have any more drinks than usual.
Yeah.
You were totally coherent.
Yeah, we had a chill night. It was a great night that night.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun. Yeah. That's why we were so like mystified the whole time, because we're like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Aw, thank you so much, Victor. Gave us a super chat.
What'd he say?
Walked the dog and came back, and y'all are still on. Here's your overtime bonus.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah. Fuck, how much is that? $10?
$10, yeah.
Hey, fucking $10 might make me gay. There's no telling.
Really? That's all it would take is $10?
From Victor.
Oh.
He from Victor, man. He's special, man. He's special. He's been fucking. He's been showing up these chats for fucking 5 years at least, huh?
Let's make Tom gay.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much for that? But yeah, that whole situation.
Make Victor a gay video.
Yeah. Oh my God, do it. But you got to send it to me first, though. I want to see it first, and then you can send it. I keep telling him to make me videos, but he won't do it.
I'll make one.
He keeps forgetting.
I always forget.
He keeps forgetting. Because I'm like,
make a video.
It's like, hey, make me a video doing this, and hey, make me a video doing that. Just send it to me. Like, that would be super hot. But he's always forgets about it.
Yeah, I always forget about it.
I make him videos sometimes, every now and then. I haven't done it in a while, but sometimes. I like to do it when you're out.
Yeah, hold on.
You know what I mean?
I don't think we have any more. We don't have any more vodka. We drank it.
Oh shit!
Here, take some of this.
Oh, okay.
Take some of this. Take half.
I thought we had more than that.
That was it.
Oh well. I guess we gotta get some more before.
That's all right. Okay.
Yeah, Papa says bidding starts at $10.
Bidding starts at $10. Yeah.
You're gonna regret saying that, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm never gonna forget that. I'd be like, hey, here's $10. Let's see. Oh my God. But yeah, so
fuck all that shit. I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah, it was just like I said, it was a whole situation.
Something that happened for a couple of days. I was like, what the fuck is this going on?
It was just so mysterious. We were just sitting there going, what the fuck could have possibly happened? Because I'm like, I don't remember anything
I think
untoward happening that night.
I think she had a crush on me.
That's the only explanation I can come up with.
Yeah, I think she had a crush on me and fucking.
And according to our friend who also knows her, it's like she never comes out.
Yeah.
So it's like she's not part of the regular crowd. I don't even know what she looks like. I wouldn't know her if she came up and slapped me for real. Yeah. I don't know what she looks like.
Yeah.
So the fact she was there and she apparently got mad that she saw you and I don't know.
Part of it may also have been grandstanding to make it look like she was hot enough that I wanted her. So she
maybe that's what it was.
It might have been bragging.
Maybe that's what it was.
It might have been bragging.
Because she was implying
that I was interested in her.
That you had been not stalking her, but messaging her all the time. And
yeah.
And Tom was like, I literally talked to her 2 years ago.
Yeah.
About mannequins.
A couple times.
And that's it. It's I haven't talked to her since then.
Yeah, I talked to her about mannequins, and then a couple weeks after that, I commented on a video of her riding a bicycle trying to lose weight. I told her how I lost weight and everything. It was just no big deal. And I said, fucking, you probably have to get your hormones straight. At your age.
Yeah, he was just giving her advice about because she's our age.
Right,
she's in her 50s.
Yeah. And she tried to get me on steroids. was like, no. I was just, you might want to take a little bit of fucking test. A little bit of nandrolone or something.
Yeah, I think he was just like giving advice like he usually does.
Yeah, fucking, because, it's hard to mobilize fat reserves fucking if you're fucking postmenopausal. Because she was postmenopausal, I believe.
Yeah, which I am too. Yeah. It's like nothing to be ashamed of.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Some women think that if you talk to them, that you're interested in them. They have them out there. They have guys like that. That's a real common mistake that guys make. Well,
it's people that are like not all that experienced.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it's more common with dudes.
Yeah.
Because they're not used to...
Dudes in India and the Middle East, if you just say hi to them, then, oh, she's trying to fuck me. She wants to get married.
Well, dudes are not generally used to, like, other people being friendly to them and, like, because other dudes don't really, like, friendships aren't like that. Yeah. So it's like, so if a woman is just standard friendly to them, like this woman doesn't think anything about it, then the dude thinks that she's hitting on him.
She loves me.
Yeah, like, I've encountered that lots of times. Yeah. So it's like, so it gets to a point where most women I know will not be friendly to a dude.
Yeah.
They're not going to be mean outright, but they'll just be real non-committal.
Yeah.
Because you can't, if you give them an inch, they'll take a mile. You know what I mean? So it's
some guys.
So a lot of, but you never know like who that's going to be. So it's like if some stranger comes up and you kind of have to be, whatever. You know what I mean? You have to be like very non-committal, like I said. Because if you're too friendly, then they're going to take it the wrong way. And I think there's probably some women like that too. And I think maybe, but the weird thing about it is that, like you said, you hadn't talked to her for 2 years. And the fact that she made this message and she remembered all of the shit that you talked about like 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I barely remember.
When you were asking about the club and all this other kind of stuff. And that was just so weird that it was just like so random.
CB said, Tom, she tried to fuck with you, but she was pissed off because you were out of your league. That's actually, that's what Tara thought.
I mean, that's the only possible motive I could think of, unless she's just crazy.
And Tara, she said she was crazy too. She said she's extremely toxic, and that she's the femcel and can't get a man. Yeah, that's what Tara said. He knows her.
Weird.
He said she couldn't hang out. He said she was so bad that she couldn't hang out with her. She tried to hang out. She tried to hang out with her. Couldn't hang out with her. Couldn't stand her. She's like, "Fuck that bitch. She never comes out anyway." I said, "What the fuck?" She says, "You didn't do that. She made that up."
I think she made that up too.
Yeah.
Because like I said, I don't remember anything untoward happening. You didn't say anything.
She's like, "What would you want with her?" And I was like, "Yeah." I told her I gave her the background. I said, talk to her about mannequins and sentimental comments. She goes, yeah, she loves you.
It's got to be that.
She hates you. Yeah.
It's got to be that.
Something like that, yeah.
I can't think of any other reason why she would just come out of the blue.
Yeah.
And, like, just make up a fucking story like that.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I know you didn't do anything.
And then accused me of making drama for her.
Yeah, that was what killed me.
Too, yeah.
You're making all this drama. Literally, all you said, and you were actually I was surprised.
I was polite, yeah.
You were very diplomatic.
Yeah.
You were just kind of like, oh, yeah, I remember who you are now. It's just like, if you had an issue with me, you should have said something at the time. But that's all he said.
Yeah. Because I don't really know what you're talking about. I don't remember
It's anything. Like, I don't really remember anything happening like that or anything like that. Like, if you had an issue, you should have brought it up at the time. Yeah. That's basically all he said. He said nothing mean, nothing. And then she accused him of causing drama.
I think I was just kind of like... I think it's because people were telling her, hey, man, don't fuck with that.
I think so. Maybe.
That's what it was.
Because I was like, someone's causing drama here, and it's not him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have to say.
All right, let's get off the subject. This is a downer.
It is kind of.
Let me go to the restroom real quick. See what everybody's doing.
I also have to go, but yeah. Phantom says cycling is great for weight loss and leg muscle building. It's also really fun. Yeah, I have a stationary bike that I use a couple of times a week. I like stationary bike. That's probably my favorite thing. Like I do like the weights and stuff, but I usually do that once or twice a week. But the bike, I'll just jump on there and ride a few miles, like while I'm watching a video or something like that. A couple times, a man-hating Karen. Yeah, I kind of feel like that's what it was. It was just like so fucking weird, man, that whole situation. Because it was just so random. It was so random. We didn't even know who it was at first. And then he's like, oh, that chick that you swear. I was like, who the fuck's that? I don't know who that is. I was like, the only bartender I know for mannequins is Heather, because that's who we go to all the time. Like when we go there. It's like, I don't even know who any of the other bartenders are. Because they're at the other bar, and I don't go to that bar. I go to the one in the back. So, I don't know. It was like fucking weird. Fucking weird. Victor says, I'm a top, so it'll be like gay pegging Tom. We're going to do this one of these days. DVD guy says, the best I can do is $350.
What's that?
One of these days, they were bidding on making you gay.
Yeah, I see all those little bands. Victor's in there going like, well, see, since I'm a top, man, if we made a video, it would just be me pegging you. Like, oh, that's fucking fun.
One of these days. Well, like I said, I'm
trying to be on top.
I would never make you do anything you didn't want to do. But I can still think about it, right? I can still think about it.
Only in your mind.
That's okay.
Only in your mind. Like I told you, man, fucking there wouldn't be no pegging video until we're talking about motorcycle level money, like Harley Davidson type fucking money. That's what we're talking about there.
All right, I got pee.
All right, later. I don't go cheap, man. I ain't no cheap whore.
I'm an expensive whore.
Yeah, expensive whore. Hell yeah. Okay. Oh, the guy in the corner with the buck teeth. Let's be talking about Dennis. It's Dennis Rader. Also known as BTK. Yeah, you know, got sexual problems. Yeah. Dennis Rader. Okay, see what we're saying here. Pop Morrissey, he paid another $100 to see that. No, man, no. Now everybody's just talking about, yeah. Papa says every man has a price. Look, man, I've heard some fucking wild stories, man, from people in the fucking sex industry and shit, and fucking people that fucking know a lot about like the online scene. Everybody does have a price. They got fucking girls living out in the middle of fucking nowhere here in the United States that have Instagram, can take these fantastic fucking photographs, just booty photographs, and you've seen them. A lot of those girls have an OnlyFans or some kind of account like that. Some of them don't have anything like that. They're just regular girls. They'd be contacted by a company, and the company would say, oh, by the way, we are something other company, and we're here in the United States, and we fucking procure entertainers and dates for a client that we work for, and he's looking for girls that look like you to have a party with him on a boat. And they're doing this fucking online, and they're like, "Nah, I'm not interested." And she says, "Well, we're willing, you know, we're willing to start off at like 10,000, you know." And fucking, they said, "This is where you'll be going." They'll be showing them pictures of fucking someplace out in fucking Dubai, and the name of the and like they say things like, "We can't name the client until you've accepted, until you've received the money, and once you receive the money, we'll because they're going to give her a down payment and shit. We'll tell you who it is, but you're not allowed to. You have to sign a non-disclosure act. We're going to fucking send you some paperwork, and you have to fucking agree to all these rules." And it's usually things like no cell phone photos of the guy, no cell phone photos where you can identify the boat, that kind of shit. You cannot. You can make calls, but you can't like fucking send video, shit like that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it's because the dude's married usually, so he doesn't want any. And fucking, they never talk about sex or anything. They say, you know, you don't have to do anything you don't want to. It's just a party on this boat, and there's gonna be a lot of other girls and people. And of course, usually the girl doesn't believe it. So what they do is...
it sounds super sketchy.
So what they do is we're going to send you $10,000 into your bank account. You know, and fucking... The 10,000 appears. And then she goes, okay, I'll go. And she goes, okay, if you go, when you leave, we'll give you another 20,000. That kind of shit. And then they send her a plane ticket, and fucking... She packs her bags and she goes. That happens. You wouldn't think it happens, but that happens. And girls take that offer. So everybody has a price. Now, when she gets there, it's some kind of prince. in fucking Dubai. And he's just very average. He's got a shit ton of money, oil money. And he's married. And you're on there with fucking a whole bunch of other girls from all over the fucking world and places in the United States. And about half of them are fucking escorts. While you're on that boat, you're going to fucking get propositions. They're going to fucking throw money at you. So now, you got, fucking $4,000 coming, and the dude fucking throws another $2,000 at you for a blowjob. And the girl does it. And then it goes, and the next thing you know, she's racked up $50,000. And goes home with $50,000. And she wasn't a hooker. Some really good looking chick from out in the middle of nowhere. And she's fucking... Yeah, weird. And he was doing it with all the girls there. So that shit does exist. And that's what he's because Papa was saying that everybody has a price. Yeah, they do. They have companies that recruit girls who are not from the sex industry. They're just based on their fucking Instagram photos. Yeah, odd. But I guess if you're kind of from the middle of nowhere and fucking they take you, fucking all this money starts coming to your account. And here's the thing. They send you the $10,000, and let's say, no, I don't want to go. They go, okay, they don't even want the money back, because $10,000's nothing for them.
Well, shit, I would just keep the $10,000 then.
Yeah.
I'm not going any place.
But then they say there's going to be more.
Super sketchy.
Yeah, there's going to be more. We'll give you another
like, y'all bitches going to push my ass
give you another
overboard.
$20,000, that kind of shit.
No thanks.
The dude fucking makes hundreds of billions a year. So that's just nothing. That'd be like somebody sending you $10. Okay, don't worry about it.
Yeah, I guess they don't care.
Be like that, yeah.
Papa says my price is $100,000 and up. Yeah, I kind of feel like you have to give me like fuck off money.
Yeah.
Like enough to like pay off all my credit card debt and like live on for a few years, you know what I mean? Before I would even think about doing that shit.
We were playing a fucking game on one of these shows. Me and Jen were on one of these fucking Sidetrack shows. We were talking about this same subject. And fucking Jen was like, well, what if he comes after you?
Yeah.
And I was just going like, yeah, that's an interesting fucking question.
Yeah.
How much is it going to take that motherfucker comes after me?
Yeah, I mean, because like, there's got to be a price.
There's got to be, and then I'm going like, and let's say it's a fucking shit ton of money, and you can't really turn it down. How do you get through that? Do you just say, well, I'm going to go there like James Bond, man, and be in a fucking total character, you know what I mean? And get into character and kind of disassociate and do it. To try to get that fucking $300,000 or $400,000.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that's probably what most women would do too.
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing.
It doesn't really sound like that fun of a time.
Yeah, but because you're thinking like, but dude, man, that's fucking. He might be doing all kinds of gay shit to you. That's what he's gonna want to do. And you're going like, yeah, but that money would pay this house off.
That's what I mean. It's like,
that's a lot of money, you know.
I kind of feel like
you don't want to do it, but you'd have to consider it.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, but like I said, it would have to be at least like Papa said, it would have to be like at least $100,000
shit ton of money
before I would even think about it. And even then, you'd have to tell me.
There's a bunch of assurances that they give them. They sign contracts.
Like exactly what I don't want anybody to like shit in my mouth or anything like that. Okay, so it's just kind of like let's establish some parameters here. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't want to get there and get fucking surprised by some shit that I don't want to do.
Yeah, because evidently there's rumors of that going on too.
That's what I'm saying. So it's just like I don't want any weird shit going on. Okay.
Yeah, like fucking. There was one story that was told by an escort fucking that would go to Dubai, and. She said that fucking she knew people. It didn't happen to her, but she knew people that would go out on these boats with these dudes, and he'd fucking be out on the fucking water with her, or on the port with her, and everything was fucking normal for like the first day, and then the second day, 7 or 8 other dudes show up on the boat, and then they go out for a cruise, and it's his whole family, and his whole family,
right?
Like his dad, his brother. Their kids, like underage kids, like fucking 10, 11-year-old boys, and they're paying her to have sex with all of them. And then fucking like this shit might go on for like a couple days, and then they're fucking doing stupid shit like they're watching TV, but they want her to walk around, serve drinks nude and shit, and wait on them hand and foot, but they're paying her a lot of money.
I mean, I would hate that.
Yeah, and like
I would just be seething.
Make them make them feel like kings and shit.
Because I hate that crap.
Yeah, and then like fucking one of the dudes decides he wants to fucking do water sports and have you go in the fucking shower and he pisses all over you, just stupid shit like that.
Oh my god,
and you just gotta put up with it. But they keep giving you more. They keep giving you more money
without telling me.
So she said some of that kind of stuff would happen to her, but she knew girls were. She would hear stories from girls where that would happen to them over there, and she said that fucking a lot of the girls. They said their biggest fear was that they would get it. They'd end up with a whole bunch of money, and she said their biggest fear was that they were going to take that money away from them and kick them off a boat.
Right.
But they didn't. They let her keep the money. But evidently, by the time a lot of times by the end of the fucking little voyage they do, they've lost total interest in her. They just treat her like shit. All right, you get the fuck out of here. That kind of shit. We're done with you.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I think that's why I'm having such a hard time with it, is because yeah, I mean, having all that money would be cool, but it's like I don't think that I would be able to keep my mouth shut for the whole time and not say something super sarcastic.
Yeah, from these fucking like 2 or 3 generations.
Because I hate that. I hate being told what to do. Yeah. I hate like having to simp and like pretend that I'm into you and I'm not. It's like I can't really do that.
Yeah, he got like 2 or 3 generations of fucking real kind of like backwards.
Like, I'm sure everything I said to them would sound like really, really condescending because I just can't make it.
Real backwards, misogynistic motherfuckers.
That's what I mean, and I can't stand people like that. So it's just kind of like...
With a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Treating you like garbage.
Yeah. So it's just kind of like... I don't know. The whole time I'd probably be like picturing them like falling overboard and getting eaten by sharks. Like, that would probably make me feel better. Or maybe I could push them overboard and they get eaten by a shark. Like, whoops. You know what I mean? I'd be thinking about that. Like, that would probably make me feel better. But like I said, it would have to be a lot of money. It would have to be enough for me to live on for, like, years. At least. Before I would even consider it. And even then...
I wouldn't allow it.
I wouldn't. I mean, it's because the thing is, it's too dangerous. You don't know. Like I said, they might get
to death, man.
That's what I mean. It's like I don't think that's a good situation to get in. Because, like Tammy was saying, it's like some of those girls are never seen again, too. Because it's like you make them mad enough. They might like I said, they'll just fucking throw you overboard.
Yeah.
No one would ever know about it.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like...
They're not going to press charges on one of their own people.
No, of course not. So it's just kind of like, I feel like, despite how tempting the money would be, I just think it would be like a really, really bad situation to get yourself into.
Evidently, they changed some of the rules around Dubai. It used to be that, like, for couples to enter Dubai with the passports that they had to be married, but they changed that because a lot of the girls that were hooking would not go to Dubai unless they were with their boyfriend /
unless somebody came with them,
pimp. Yeah, but the boyfriend is usually a security / pimp kind of manager / manager, and fucking so because I totally understand that, you know what I mean? Fucking. If you're fucking in business with your girlfriend, you're pimping your girlfriend and shit, you're gonna want to be security.
Well, yeah.
Just for her sake, you know.
Because it's a very
She's in
dangerous...
a foreign country and these motherfuckers. You
don't know any of these fucking people.
Yeah, right.
That's what I mean. Anything can happen.
Right. So they wouldn't come. So they changed the laws that okay, if you're one of those girls, you can bring your boyfriends in quotations. That's your security.
Yeah.
So they didn't mention in the interviews I heard, they didn't mention anything about the boyfriends or security going with them on the boat. But that probably happens too.
I would hope so.
Where the, you know what I mean?
He's at scared on their behalf.
He's at least on the boat. Yeah. You might be sleeping in the cabin with him instead of the other guy, but you're with your boyfriend, but at least the boyfriend's on the boat.
How fucking weird would that be though? It's like, see you later, honey. I gotta go have this dude shit on my chest.
Yeah.
Bye.
Some people
sounds super fun.
Some of those fucking pimps, you know what I mean? Well, I'm calling pimps. That's your pimp or manager, boyfriend, whatever. Fucking, they can compartmentalize it. They're and here's another thing. Fucking, a lot of people that at least that I know that are in the industry that do escorting and stuff. Because I know people that me and Jen knew a girl. We didn't know she was an escort. Found out later.
Until later.
You would never suspect her.
No, you absolutely would not.
Total goody two shoes. And she was a fucking Craigslist fucking escort, fucking meeting dudes in hotels, fucking started off at hand jobs and then full service, and you'd look at her, you'd never fucking suspect.
No, you would never suspect.
You'd never suspect. Yeah.
She was the last person you would think would be doing that kind of shit.
Yeah.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
When I found out. I was
Yeah.
fucking shocked.
You? He's like, yeah.
Like some of our friends, I would not be shocked.
Yeah.
No insult to them. I'm just saying, yeah, that sounds like some shit they would do.
But most of
But
them,
her, no.
almost all of them that I've known kind of came from a background of fucking instability and basically poverty.
Yeah.
So they didn't have anything. They're kind of like self-made, and they're now getting into a bigger game, and they're seeing money that they've never seen before, you know. That's a lot of it. But that one girl, she came from a good house. It's just that she had a need for money.
Yeah.
That she couldn't earn that much money. She was trying to further another career with this money.
Yeah.
And the career failed anyway. It was a musical career.
Yeah.
Yeah, she made some cool videos and sang some shit. She was very talented, but you never would have suspected it.
That she was doing all that, yeah.
Yeah, and she kind of got into it a little bit by accident. She took a job out of desperation at a fucking massage parlor, and she just thought she was just going to give people rubs downs. And the fucking
It
she
was
told
one
the
of
whole story.
those massage parlors.
Yeah, and then like the girl says, "Okay, then you do it." And then of course you get it over with. And she says, "What do you mean?" She goes, "Yeah."
She's like, wait, back up.
"Back up." What'd you say? Yeah, happy ending. You know?
What is this about?
Yeah, what's it? Happy ending. And,
Did you just do this?
So, so she tried it out. And she goes, "Oh, that was easy."
Yeah.
So she just kept coming back, and that was her fucking specialty. And then she goes, "I can do this on my own," because they were taking a lot of the money.
Yeah.
The place you work at. So she started doing that from hotels, off of Craigslist. This is back in the Craigslist days.
Yeah, this is a while back.
Yeah, and then she said after about fucking 4 months of that, she realized she started getting so much money thrown at her, but to go full service, she just became full service.
Yeah.
In those hotels. And I was like, man, what are the clients like? And she goes, oh man, fucking rabbis, fucking...
Yeah, it's probably like
fucking...
all kind of people.
Fucking lawyers, fucking just... Yeah, and here's another thing. This is some weird shit, people. She realized that the hotel thing was fucking risky, So what she did is that she fucking rented a stall in a spa, a day spa. And she would just do regular spa shit, but then run those ads. And in between spa shit, she's in there fucking doing full service on motherfuckers in a spa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
downtown.
And then one day they raided the place.
Yeah, no, they raided the massage
They raided
parlor.
the other place.
They didn't raid the spa because she was the only one in the spa doing that.
Yeah. Did they find out?
No. She got away with it.
That's sneaky.
She thought that the other girls thought something was up. Because it was mostly girls coming to the spa. Except she would get guys and girls.
And I can see how everyone would
They were like, what the fuck are these dudes doing?
What are all these dudes doing in a spa? Yeah,
because
usually
who the facial here?
And actually spa, that's usually a woman thing.
Yeah.
Like you go and get a little mud bath and get little facials and stuff like that. That's usually a thing that women do.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'd have a lot of dudes showing up. People would be like, that would be a little fishy.
Said they were all middle-aged kind of married guys and fucking...
Same kind of dudes that go to prostitutes.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah.
Generally.
Yeah, she never had like a fucking young guy or fucking any hot shot or anything. It was middle-aged married guys. That fucking... She said they were like totally normal, super vanilla.
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah.
I wonder how... I mean, probably not nowadays, because the world is kind of different now.
Yeah.
But, the show that we did about Robert Lee Yates on Wednesday, where he was going and picking up sex workers all the time.
Yeah.
And there was, like, a lot of people doing that. And that was, like... I mean, that was still 90s, I guess. So that was kind of, like, way before most of the main thing. But it's just... It shocked me, like, how common it was for dudes to just go down and fucking pick up sex workers off the side of the street.
Those are street hookers, though. That's like bottom of the barrel.
Yeah. But a lot of people did it, though. A lot of people.
Those guys didn't have any money, though.
I guess not.
Yeah, they're fighting over dudes. Those girls are fighting over dudes that don't really have any money. And those dudes are fighting for the cheapest pussy they can get.
Yeah.
Fucking... What she was doing was kind of not that. A little more selective. They paid money.
Yeah.
Better money. And they were a higher caliber guy. And that's why she went to the spa. Because she said that going to the... doing it from the hotel was risky, and it didn't attract the kind of guy that she wanted to work for.
Right.
It attracted more mid-range. They didn't have that much money. She had to have security, and you had to pay for the room. There was a bunch of losses.
Yeah, true.
Because she didn't have a boyfriend. She actually fucking hired security.
I don't blame her.
Big old fucking black dude, yeah. He drove her there and fucking watched over her.
You need it, like I said, that is a very, very dangerous.
Yeah. And she kind of
very dangerous.
She kind of fucking wanted it to fucking look like that he was the pimp. Okay, to keep those dudes in line, but he was the pimp. He was he was an employee.
Yeah. Let me see. Hold on. Somebody said. Oh, Phantom said that would make a great 13 o'clock podcast shirt. Who's giving who a facial here?
Yeah, who's giving who a facial here? Yeah.
But then Tammy says, I don't think we're ever going to get another shirt.
Yeah.
We need to make some
I haven't
more.
done shirts in a long fucking
time. I know,
time.
we really need to make some more shirts. I'm going to write that down because...
Man, if I had a who's going to give who the facial shirt, they would never sell. And y'all would make me y'all would make me wear that shit.
Who's giving you the facial hair? Yeah. I still want a good dick day shirt.
Yeah, today is a good dick day.
Because he said that to me yesterday. Today's a good dick day. I thought that was so
Pulled
funny.
that shit out and showed it to her. She goes, yeah, it is.
It is a good dick day.
Yeah.
Look at that. It's like a good hair day.
Yeah.
But a lot more fun.
Yeah.
And then he says, how come you guys don't plug commercials during your shows anymore? I just forget about it.
Yeah,
to
they
be
didn't get
honest.
any responses anyway.
Yeah.
A lot of people I know, man, I checked out, I know other channels. Hard to sell things over fucking...
It is, yeah.
You make more money just fucking having good conversations than people fucking commenting and fucking sending you
Yeah.
money. You'll make more that way.
I mean, like I said, I have a lot of stuff out there. I do, I've written a lot of books. I make board games, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's all out there.
Yeah.
You can find it if you want to.
Yeah.
It's like, I always kind of feel like, I know this is dumb, but I've always been more like a creator person. I'm not really a seller person. So it's like a lot of times when I make something, I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, I made it. And then
You kind of forget about it.
I kind of forget about it. Well, look, I was like, look, here's
Pop,
this.
Pop
like
77 says he'll buy all kinds of merch.
Here's an example. I just did this for fun. I love designing like board games and card games and stuff. I just did this. This is a card game that I made called Dear Departed. And it's kind of like a seance type, like a Victorian seance type of card game. And I just made that because I felt like it. And it's up for sale, but I never tell anybody about it. Like, you have to buy one to, like, for a sample, like, before they let you sell it. But, oops. I have, a bunch of, my lamp fell off. I have a big bat-shaped lamp that just fell off. But, I have a bunch of, like, board games that I made. And, like I said, I just like doing them. I just forget. I forget to tell people about them. That's all. Like I said, they're all up there on the Game Crafter, but... Did he give me this so I could drink it, or what's this deal? What's this about? I don't know. Oh my god, Dave is here. Where have you been? You haven't been in the chat like forever. And what is it? It's Friday. Why are you not at Mannequins right now? Because aren't you usually at Mannequins around this time? It's 11 o'clock. We haven't been to Mannequins in a really long time. But we've been going to Barbarella on Saturday nights, though. And we went to Memento last Friday. Papa said, how about a serial killer's quiz game? Ooh, that might be fun. I thought about doing, like, horror trivia. I was going to do a horror trivia game. I just never got around to it yet. But yeah, a serial killer one would be good, too. Serial killer would be good, too. Man, I can't believe, like, some people are just showing up. Just Full Metal Nosferatu just showed up just now. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Victor says, we need pegging-themed shirts. Like, strapped and ready, or taking the lead from behind. Oh my god, that would be so funny.
What you talking about?
Victor said we need pegging-themed shirts.
Oh, man.
Strapped and ready,
yeah.
One, and then taking the lead from behind.
Damn.
Oh my god.
People are fucking bad.
I would give you $20 if you wore that shirt.
You can give me $20.
I'll give you $20 just to wear that shirt. $50.
Where am I to wear it?
I don't know. You can just wear it so
wear
I can
that shit
look
to
at
the club?
Yeah. That would be super funny. Because people all night would be like, what does that mean, Tom? Oh my god.
Toby would exactly know what that is.
Yeah, he would think
She'd
that
be
was
like,
funny as shit, probably.
You gay as fuck.
That's how he would say it,
Gay
too.
as fuck.
That's exactly what he sounds like.
Yeah.
That's so
Call
funny.
me a fag and shit. Yeah.
He'll do that sometimes. Yeah, Full Metal Nosferatu just got here.
Oh, shit.
Just now. It said long ass day today.
Yeah. Well, we're out of booze, so it's almost time for us to shut it down.
Yeah, no. Yeah, we've been on since 7:30, like almost 4 hours.
Oh,
T-shirt.
shit, it's late.
Yeah, T-shirt idea for Tom. Full Metal Dick. We need some. Like I said, I like the good Dick Day idea, but I don't. Nobody's gonna wear that. But I think it would be funny, like just to make one, and then you could wear it when you were having a good Dick Day, so that I would know.
Today is a good dick day. And then you have I'll have like a cartoon chubby. Hang on. Okay, look, man. We gotta fucking shut this shit down, John.
All right. Yeah, it is getting very late for us. It's almost 11:30.
Yeah.
And we're out of booze.
Yeah.
I thought we had a little bit more left than we did, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. So I guess we gotta wrap it up for the evening. So hopefully you guys had fun tonight. I had a good time. That's as it went on. I can't believe we were on for almost 4 hours. Oh my goodness. We just got carried away, as we usually do. But yeah, so I don't know what the movie's going to be on Monday. You guys gave us some good suggestions. We might go to the theater. I'm not really sure. We'll see how it all works out. So, but we'll think of something as we usually do. So have a good rest of your evening, you guys. Have a good weekend. And we'll see you guys again on Monday night for the movie review. Good night.